So hello and what's up everybody, welcome back to Screen Technicals. Today in this video I will be teaching you Django. So if you are a Python programmer or you can say a web developer, and if you want to learn Django for the web development purpose, then I welcome you to this video. So let's first quickly create a folder at this point. So just click on this, right click and just click on this new, and just going to create a folder at this point and name it as, let's say, Django in one video, right, and hit enter. And inside this I'm just opening my VS Code. So right click at this point, click on this, open with code. Now if you don't know what is Visual Studio Code is, then let me tell you. Visual Studio Code is an free and open source you can say code editor offered by Microsoft. So and it is a cross platform, you can say, software, so you can use it in Mac, Linux and Windows. So as I'm using Windows, so I downloaded this version, right, this one. So you can just download this, and it's pretty much simple to, you can say, use and install, right? So just download this one, right? Okay, now let me tell you one thing, that VS Code has its own inbuilt terminal, right? So before that, let me tell you one thing. You can see at this point we have this extensions icon at this point. Click on this right bar and search for Django at this point, right? Okay, Django, right, search for Django at this point, and you're going to find this extension at this point. Just install this extension because this will help you a lot. This will you can say provide us the snippets which will help us to, you can say, write the code more productively, and you can say in a very efficient way, right? Okay, now after that what I'm going to do is I'm just opening the terminal. So press Control, you can say J, and one thing which I'm just enabling is, that is, you can just pressing Control Shift P, right, and you can say enabling this toggle screencast mode, because when I'm just using, you can say, the keyboard, whatever you can say the key I will type, you can see at this point you can see what I'm just typing, right? This will be, you can say, helpful for you, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the virtual environment, because whenever you create a project, you should you can say you must create a virtual environment for this, right? So I'm just going to write here that is virtual, right, virtual env, and let's say I'm just naming it as VNV, right, env, right, VENV, right. So just hit enter. Okay, what's saying virtual, the term is not recognized, virtual env. So what is happening? Let's see. I want to just create a virtual environment, so I'm going to virtual, right, env, and the name is VENV. Hit enter. Right, now you just missed out the spelling at this point, so just try it. You can say this, just check that the spelling is correct, right? Now it will just create, you can see, the virtual environment. Now you can see at this point we have just, you can see this folder, so the virtual environment has been created. Now just wait for some time. Okay, now the virtual environment has been created. Now write here CLS to clean the terminal. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can see, the create a project. Now let's first open, you can say, the browser and search for, let's say, Django at this point, and hit enter, right? And you're going to find this, you can say, the Django is a web framework, right? It is obviously a web framework because it is actually using backends. And just click on this documentation. If you don't know what is backend, then you don't have to worry, everything is all right. Now it is, you can say, this is the Django documentation, and it is an awesome documentation. You can say you can just read this documentation because it provides you a lot of, you can say, informations, right? And it has a very simple, you can say, easy to understand language, right? So you can just go and, you can say, learn this, right? If you want, you can just read this, right? So now what I'm going to do is, at this point, I'm just going to create the project. So to create a Django project, but before that, one thing I want to tell you, we have to activate our virtual environment. So I'm going to write here /, I'm just hitting the tab and S tab, then A tab, and hit enter. You can say this is the command to activate the, you can say, the virtual environment. You can say the virtual environment has been activated, right? And if you are finding any problems, then you just comment me. I will give you the solution at this point, right? Now CLS. Now I'm just going to create, you can say, the Django project. But before that, we have to install Django in our virtual environment. So for that, right here, pip install Django, right, and hit enter. So it will install Django, you can say, to our virtual environment. So just give the time and let's wait for some time. So finally the Django has been installed to our virtual environment, right? Now what I'm going to do is, at this point I'm just going to, you can say, run some commands. So right here, let's say there is Django dash, right, this Django, right, just write the correct spelling, right, Django dash admin, right, and hit enter. Now here you are going to find these commands at this point. This means Django has been successfully installed in our system, right, that is into our virtual environment, right, not to the system, right. So right here Django dash admin, and right here start project, right, and then write the project name. So let's say we are going to create, you can say, a blog in this video. So let's write here blog simply and hit enter. Now this will, you can say, at this point you can say this some of files at this point which has been automatically created by Django. So you can say this file has been created. Now after this, what you have to do is you have to just create an app. Now what is an app? Now let me tell you. We have a project. This is actually the project. So we have a project called blog, right, and inside this project we have, you can say, you can create as many apps we want, right. So let's say I want to create an app, let's say of home. So I'm just going to write here Django dash, not Django dash admin, it is Python manage.py, right, that is this manager.py. I have to write here start app, right, and the name of the app. So in my case the app name will be home, and hit enter. Now you can say no such file or directory is saying, because we are, you can say, inside, you can say, this folder. So we have to just cd into this folder, right. So right here cd and just into this block, right. Now just run the same command again, python manage.py start app, and hit enter, right. And you can say at this point we have created, you can say, our home app. Okay, now after this thing, one thing we are just going to do, that is we are just going to test that, you can say, the Django, you can say the Django server is running or not, right. So right here python manage.py run server, right. So I'm just going to give you a cheat sheet of the commands which I'm just going to write at this point, right. So you can just download the cheat sheet from the description, right. So you can see at this point the starting development server at, you can say, at this, you can say http://127.0.0.1:8000, right. So because our server is running at this point, so I'm just going to, you can say, open my server at this point. So press alt and click at this point. Now it will open, you can say, the development server on your web browser, right. So you can see this, we have successfully launched Django app, right. Okay, now I want to talk about two things, that is, you can say, the urls.py, and another thing, that is the views.py of, you can say, of our app, right. Now let's first talk about the urls.py of our project, right. So at this point you can see we have this URL patterns and two things imported, that is, one is admin and one is path. Now we'll talk about admin later on, right. First let's talk about, you can say, the path. So what is this path is actually? It's actually the URLs. So you can say in the browser, you can say this Django documentation, you can say this link, we have this is, you can say, this is the, you can say, the website, and this is the domain, right. And you can see after slash we have this en/3.2, or you can just go to the Visual Studio Code, you can, of this website, and here you're going to find this, you can say, the /download. Now this is, you can say, the URL path, right. So you can say this is the default path, and this is the, you can say, /download path. Now what do I mean by that? Now I'll tell you. Here you can see we have the path admin, you can say path admin /. Now when I'm just going to write here /admin, right, and / and hit enter, you can say it's just giving me an error, because we have not created, you can say, the super user right now, right. So you can say no such table, or you can say Django session is created, right. So obviously we don't have the admin right now, but we will be creating that, right. So this is nothing but, you can say, a URL pattern. Okay, now one thing, let me tell you, here we are going to include you can see the URLs, you can see your URLs of, you can say, of our home app. So you can see in our home app we don't have any type of URL, right? So just create a new file and name it as urls.py, right, and hit enter. Right, now I'm just copying this much of thing, you can say, from the urls.py of my project, right, and pasting that in, you can say, in the urls.py of my home app, right. Okay, now I'm just going to remove, you can say, this import, and I'm just going to change this, right. So at this point, I'm just going to write here, that is path, right, and if it is blank, this means if there is, you can say, nothing, it is the default path, right. So right here, views, okay, we have to import the views first, so just import that right here from dot import views, right. Now here, right here, views dot, let's say, home, right, and give a comma, and right, give the name as home, just like this. Now let me explain you what I'm doing is, now here you can say, I'm just defining another path. Now that is, you can say, when it is blank, let's say, you can say, when it is, you can say, it will be when it will be blank, the default path is this one, right, that is this, you can say, this 127.0.0.1:8000. okay, this is, you can say, the default path, right, means when you just search for facebook.com, okay, it just gives you the home page. So the home page, you can see, it is the default path, right. Now let me tell you one thing. Now what does this views.home? Now at this point, you can see we have a views.py, right. So here we are going to, you can say, create the website, you can say, the actual URLs. Let's say you can say, here we have, you can say, the URLs, and this URLs will serve, you can say, the templates that we will send, you can say, from the views.py. Now here what we're going to do is, we're going to create a function. Let's say I'm just creating a function of naming as home, because at this point, you can say, we have written this home, so this must be same as, you can say, this one, right. So right here, home, and it accepts an, you can say, a parameter or argument, that is request, right, give the column, and inside this, right here, return. And for right now, I'm just not rendering anything, because to render we need templates, but I will discuss about the templates, okay, in this video later on. But first, let's see what it actually does, this views.py, what it actually returns. So just import one more thing, that is HTTP response, right, this one, and here, right here, return HTTP, okay, HTTP response, and inside this, right here, let's say, hello world, right. Now save this much of thing, right. Now another thing, now if I go to the browser, okay, and I just refresh this page, you can say nothing changes. Why? Let me tell you. We have done some changes, you can see, in the, you can say, we have added this thing in the views.py. We have added, you can say, this URL in our, you can say, the urls.py of our home app. But if we will go to, you can say, the urls.py of our, you can say, the project folder, you can see there is no connection between this and this. So we need to create a connection between, you can say, the urls.py of our project and the urls.py of our, you can say, home. So I'm going to write here path, right, and here I'm going to write blank, give space, right here, include, okay, include, and this will include, you can say, that is the home.urls. Now what is this home.urls? Actually, this home is our app, and this is the URL. So I'm just you can say, connecting a link between, you can say, these two URLs, right. So right, okay, I'll just give a comma, and we have to, you can say, I just you can see, you have to just import this include, or you can just directly include, just copy this, paste this after this path. We don't need this, right. Now save this much, right, and also save this, right. Now just go to the browser and now refresh this, right. Okay, the server is reloading, I think. Okay, let's say, I think our server has been, okay, it has been pressed. So press Ctrl C, cls. Right here I'll just run the server again, right, and hopefully it will work. Right, now just open the browser and just refresh it, and you can see this hello world at this point. Now one thing I just want to tell you, that is, at this views.py you can also write the HTML, you can also use the HTML tags. So if I write here, let's say h1, just like this, and inside this if I write here this hello world and just close this h1 tag, right, like this. Now saving this, now you just go to the browser and just refresh it. Okay, now you can see this thing, this hello world, right? Now this thing you can do, right? Now okay, likewise we are going to create, you can say, some more URL patterns. Let's do it first, right? So press Ctrl J to you can say close the terminal, right, to minimize the terminal itself. And I'm just going to create, you can say, more functions like this. Let's say one will be let's say posts, right, and one will be, let's say, contact, right, or let's say about, right, and the contact will be at the last. These are the basic things that a website contains. So I'm just you can say, by pressing Ctrl and using my mouse clicks, I'm just creating multiple cursors just like this, right? Okay, now I'm just going to change, you can say, this one. So I'm just writing here, let's say posts. I'm just going to write at this point, let's say, there is about us. Okay, and here I'm going to write here contact us, like, right? So here contact us, right? Now save this much. Now we have to define this, you can say, in the urls.py of our home app at this point. So I'm just replicating this, right, just like this. And by the way, let me tell you, when I press Ctrl and my down arrow key, okay, I can replicate these things just like this. But in your case, I don't think so it will work, because I just created, you can say, this shortcut by myself, because you can just customize your shortcuts at this point. You can find this, where is that, this keyboard shortcuts. When you click on this, it will show you the shortcut, and you can just add it, you can say, the shortcuts key, right, at this point, right? You can say, by clicking on this, you can just, you can say, create, you can say, the shortcuts, right? Okay, now at this point I want to define, you can say, it is slash post. So I'm just writing here post slash, right? It is post slash, or let's say posts slash, right? And just change this views to posts, right? And just, let's say, the spelling about, let's see the spelling. Okay, just you can say, make it small. Okay, this one also small. Okay, just like this. Now save this. Now go to the views.py. Now go to the urls.py, and okay, just change this to also posts, right? Now change this and this to about, right, and just add a slash at this point, right? And at this point right here, contact, and just, you can say, just pasting this at this point and at this point, right? Now save this much of thing. Now if I go to the browser now and just refresh it, and at this point if I write here slash, let's say, about, and hit enter, you can see this about us, right? If I write here, let's say, posts, and hit enter, you can see this posts. If I write here, let's say, contact, okay, and hit enter, you can see, you can find contact us. Now one thing, okay, we are going to do, right? So just try it yourself first, right? So what you have to do is, you can say, at this location, that this, you can say, the home, right? You can say, just remove this one, just go to the home. At this point you have to create some links, by which, okay, and when I click on those links, it will redirect me, you can say, to the posts, to the about page, to the contact page, right? So just create that, just pause the video and create that, and after that just watch what I'm going to do. So I hope that you have you can say, tried it yourself, right? So now let's do that. So what we're going to do is, after this I'm just going to add, you can say, BR tag, just like this, and I'm going to write here, adding the anchor tag right here, href. Okay, for this you should know, you can say, you should have some knowledge about the HTML, right? So here I'm going to write here, let's say, that is what is that, slash posts, right? So it is slash post slash, right? Close this, okay, close this, and right here posts. Okay, now close the anchor tag, just like this, right? Now just I'm giving the space at this point and just copying this. You can say 2 more times and just changing, you can see this posts to about, okay, this to about, and this to contact, and this to also contact. Okay, now save this much of thing. Now just you can say go to the browser, okay, and just refresh it, and you're going to find, you can say, 3 links at this point. When I click on this post, you can say it takes me to the post, and when I click on this about, it takes me to the about, and when I click on this, you can say this contact, it will take me to the contact page. So this is pretty much only, you can say, the HTML, and you can say this, you can say only just need to define the path at this sequence, the href, right? So you have to do the same, you can say, in the, you can say this post, you can in the about and in the contact. So in the post you don't have to mention, you can say this one, this post. Instead of this, you have to write here this home, right? So don't write here home, just write here, let's say there is, simply give a slash, just like this. Let me show you. This will be a simple slash, right? Now if I write here, let's say home, say this, just go to the browser, right? And okay, just refresh and just go back, and now at this one, when you can just refresh it, and you are going to find this posts again. Now let's see what is going to be wrong. Here we have a slash, everything is fine, right? A href slash, we have home, then we have this one, right? Now save this one, go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, actually sometimes it happens, okay, it gets stuck. Okay, now you can see it has been changed to, you can say, this home. Now if I click on this, it will only refresh this page, right, and nothing will do, right? So this is quite awesome, but not so much of awesome, right? Because we are not going to create this type of websites. We are going to create websites like, let's say, what type of website? Let's say facebook.com, right? But not at this point, because this is a beginner's tutorial, so we'll be creating a simple blog, right? Okay, now I'm going to introduce you about the templates. Okay, now minimize this and this folder, right? And you can say inside this folder, where this manage.py file is located, we are just going to create another folder and just going to name it as templates, right? And just enter, right? And inside this template folder, I'm just going to create another folder and just naming it as home, right? Okay. Now inside this home folder, I'm just going to create a new file and naming it as index.html file, right? This is going to be an HTML file, right? Okay. Now just press shift and you can say the exclamation is 1, right? Now just you can say just type this exclamation mark, right, and hit enter. Now this will give you the boilerplate, you can say, of this HTML, right? And here I'm just going to write here, let's say home, right? Now save this. Now if I go to, you can say, my browser and just refresh it, there will be no change. Obviously there will be no change, right? Now we have to link this, and you can say we have to just render this, you can say, this template, right, in our views.py. But before that we have to do some settings, right? So just open your, you can see, this project folder, right, this one, and just open this settings.py file, right? Just go down, okay, and at this point what you have to do is you have to, you can say, in this installed apps, you have to add your, you can say, this home app, right? You have to just register this home app at this point. So at this point right here, home dot apps dot home config. Now how I know this is home config? Now this is home, this is dot apps. This means I have a home which is an app, and you can say that is I just want to configure this home app, right? So how I know this, you can say, this home config, right? So if you go to, you can say, this home app, right, at this point, and you are going to find this apps.py file. Just open this file, and here you are going to find this home config. Just you have to just copy this one, and you have to do what you do, you just paste that at this point, just like this. Okay, now give a comma at this point. Now save this. Now just go down and you're going to find this templates. So at this point, what you have to write here, you have to just, you can say, add the location of your templates directory, right? So right here, base dir slash, right here, templates, just like this. Okay, now save this much of thing, right? Now just go to the views.py file, right, and just remove this much of thing, right? We don't need this right now because we are not going to render those things. We are rendering the templates, right? So right here, render, and inside this render it accepts, and you can say it accepts the request. So right here, request, give a comma, and right here just give the course, and inside this right here, home slash index.html, right? Now after writing this much of thing, just save this one. Now go to the browser and just refresh the page. Okay, okay. Now after refreshing the page, you are going to find this. Now we have successfully rendered, you can say, our templates. Now let me show you my template at this point. Now if I'm going to add here, let's say, an anchor tag, let's say I'm just adding here, let's say, slash posts slash, and here writing here, let's say, posts, right? Now save this one, just go to the browser and just refresh it, and you're going to find this post. If I click on this, it will take me to the post page, right? Okay, now let's beautify this, right? So I will be using Bootstrap for this. So in the new tab, I'm just going to open, you can say, there is Bootstrap. Then just type Bootstrap file, right? And click on this, you can say, this link. Okay, let's maximize the window, right? Now at this point you can see these things, but we don't need this. We have to just go to the components. So click on this components, right? But before going to the components, first just click on this, you can say, just go below, and you can just copy this one, right? Just copy, you can just go below, and at this starter template, just copy this one and just paste that at this point. Save this one. Now just, you can say, just go to the browser and just let's see how it looks. Okay, it has a pretty much simple hello world, right? Now just you can say, just remove the extra, you can see these extra comments from at this point. We don't need these extra comments at this point. Okay, just like this. Now just I'm just also just removing this one. I'm just, you can say, making it pretty much simple, right? Okay, now after this, just, you can say, go to, you can say, the browser, just go to this website, click on this components, and then just scroll down, and you are going to find this navbar. Click on this navbar, right, and just go below and just copy this. Okay, and just paste that. You can say, just remove this h1 tag. I'm just going to create a container at this point. So I'm just going to create, you can say, a div, right, or just div with a class of container, right? Hit enter, and inside this I'm just going to you can say, paste that, right, what I've just copied. You can see that code which we had just copied, right? Now save this one. Now go to the browser and just refresh this, and you can see we got, you can see, this navigation bar. Now I don't want this type of navigation. I want the navigation bar to extend up to this and up to this also, right? So just go to the, you can say, this container, you can say this div, right, and at this point just write here container dash fluid, right? Now save this one, just go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see this thing. All right, I want to just change, you can see, the color of the navigation bar. So this is the navigation bar, right? So just, you can say, make it, okay, just select these things and just hit tab, right, so that it will be beautified. Okay, okay, after this, you can say, this is the navbar. So you can see this navbar light, just make this and this to dark. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you're going to find this, right? Really beautiful, right? Now you can see you're going to find this, you can say, this spaces. So I think that is padding, I hope so. So right here, p-0. Now don't worry if you don't know Bootstrap, just follow me what I'm doing, right? Very soon I will be creating a video on this Bootstrap, right? So just refresh it, and yeah, we got that, right? Now I'm just going to, you can say, link my, you can say, the navigation. Just I'm going to fix some of the navigations, right? So first, let's see, just change this navbar to, let's say, pardon. So we're just going to create a blog. So what can be the name? So right now I'm just writing here, let's say coding block. Okay, coding block. Right now save this. Now go to browser, refresh it. You are going to find this. Right now, just remove this hashtag and write here simply slash. Right, and where is that home? Which is the UL. This is home. So just write here, give it a slash, right, and just give, you can say, a tab at this point and remove all these things. We don't need any type of drop downs, right? So just remove this much of thing, right, up to this. Okay, now save this. Now go to the browser. Now just refresh it, and you can find we have removed those in application links, right? Now what you have to do is just copy this much of part, right, 3 times. Okay, now make it as posts. Okay, right here post slash, right, slash post slash, right, this one, and right here about, right here slash about slash, right, and just right here contact, and okay, contact, and right here slash contact slash. Now save this. Now just go to the browser and refresh it, and you are going to find this. Now when I click on this, you can say we are just navigating, right? So it is working. Right now when I click on this, it will just refresh. When I click on this, it will also refresh. Now I just don't want to, you can say, see this hello world at this point, right? So let's change that also. So just remove this, and right here let's say coding block, right, in Django. Save this one, go to the browser and refresh that. Yeah, we got that, right? Now now I want to talk to you about, let's say, likewise we are going to, you can say, create more HTML files, right? So you can say inside this folder, right, inside this home folder, I'm just going to create another file. Let's say that it will be posts .html, right? Okay, HTML. Hit enter. Okay. Now one thing, let me tell you. How many times I was just copying this, right? If I want to see, you can say, these things, you can say this navigation at this point also. So I have to copy the entire, you can say, this entire code. So I don't want that, right? Now here comes, you can say, the concept of template inheritance. So it is an, you can say, an important concept, right, and very useful concept, right? So what I'm going to do is, you can say, okay, outside this home directory and inside this template directory, right, I'm just going to create a new file, right, that will be base.html, right? And you can see this thing, the base.html is outside, you can say, this home directory, right, just like this. So what you have to do is just go to the index.html, right, just press Ctrl A, Ctrl X, paste everything in base.html, press Ctrl V, save this. Now just go to the index.html file, and at this point right here extends just like this, right? Okay, extends base.html, right? Now save this. Now if you go to the browser and just refresh it, you can see there will be no change, right? Now you can say I just copy this much of code and just go to the post.html and just paste it at this point. Now save this one, go to the browser, refresh it. Now if I click on, you can see this post, you can see there is no change. Yeah, obviously there will be no change because we have to render this, you know, in our views.py also, right? So I'm just copying this much of line, pasting it instead of this, right, and just changing, you can see, this index.html to posts.html, right? Now save this and just go to the browser and refresh it, and you are going to find this successfully, right? You can see this post. So at this post we have, you can see, this navigation bar. Now if I click on this, I'm just at the, you can say, at the home, and if I click on this, I'm now in the post, right? Now this is quite awesome, right? So if you are still confused, let me tell you one more thing. So what I'm going to tell you is, first what we have done is, you can say, inside, you can see this block, you can see this this block, inside this folder we have created a folder called templates, and inside this template we have created, you can say, this home folder, right? And inside this home folder we have two files, that is, one is index.html and one is posts.html, right? Now outside you can see this home directory folder, we have created this base.html file, right? Now this much of thing, I hope it will be clear. Now let me tell you what we have done in the settings.py. Now if we will go to the settings.py, first what we have done, we have, you can say, added our app, right, in the installed apps, right? So this is nothing but we have only registered our app in the settings.py file, right? Okay. Now after that, what we have done is we have, you can see, we have only just added, you can say, the path of our templates directory, right? This templates directory, we have just added the path at this point, right? Now just we have just done these two things, you can say, in this settings.py file still now, right? Now just close the settings.py file, right? Now close this URL, the urls.py of our blog, okay, of our project folder, right? And okay, now let open these things, right? Now let me just repeat the template inheritance part, right? So if you first, what I have done at this point, I have actually created, you can say, just added, you can say, all the HTML files, okay, all the HTML code, right? So the HTML code I just added at this point. After that, what problem we are getting? When I was just creating, you can see, this post.html, I have to, you can say, just paste all this code again, you can say, at this point. So what I want, I don't want, right? Because that will be pretty much messy, and which will create confusions and bugs in our app or in our project, right? So we don't want. So for that, Django has a concept of template inheritance, right? Now what template inheritance does is, you have to create a single, you can say we have to just create you can say an HTML file, right? And what you do, we have to just paste all, you can say, you just write all the common codes, right? The code which will be common, you can say, in all, you can see, in all these pages, right? So if you just go to a website, just like you can say this VS code, right? At this point, you're going to find this, you can see, this navigation bar. So navigation bar is pretty much same for all its pages. If I go to, you can see, this docs, you click on this docs, you're going to find, you can, the same navigation bar appears. So you can say we don't have to you can say code the same HTML in different files, right? So for that, we just code you can say the common you can say the common HTML part in a single HTML file. And after that, what do? We just, you can say, just use this you can say this command, that is extends base.html, and right, and after writing this one, the Django will, what it will do, it will just extend this base.html file, you can say, inside this index.html file, right? I hope this much of part will be clear to you, right? Now just go to this base.html file, right? Now just to go to, you can say, this point and just minimize this navigation bar, right? This much of thing. And after this navigation bar, right, just you can just copy, just select this, press tab, and now you can see, now you can minimize this one, right? Okay. Now after this navigation, you can say this navigation, I'm just going to you can say, let's say I'm just writing an h1 tag, let's say home, okay, and you can say, now if I write here home, now this home will be displayed, you can say, in my home page, even in my post also. So I don't want that, so I want some customization, right? So for that, we have block. Now what is block? Just write here simply block first, right? Now if you have installed, you can say, the extension which I have said, that is the Django extension, you can say, in VS Code, then after writing this block and hitting enter, you are going to just find this autocomplete feature, right? Now at this point, you are going to find this block. Now we have to name this block, right? So at this point, let's say I'm just writing here let's say body, right? Now this is the the block body part, right? So just copy this, right, and just go to the index.html file, right? And after, you can see this extends.base.html file, right? After this, right, this should be at the top, paste that, right? And inside this, if I will write here, let's say, now inside this you can just write, you can say, the HTML, right? Let's say I'm just writing here in h1, writing here, let's say home, right? Now if I go to the browser, now you can see, just refreshing, you can see the post page, and I'm not finding, you can see, that home. But if I go to, you can see, the home, I'm just finding this home at this point. So this is the use of this block. So template inheritance is pretty much simple. Don't get confused. We have just created a template folder. Inside the template folder, we have, you can say, another folder that is called home, and inside you can see this home we have two HTML files, and outside this home we have one HTML file that is based on HTML, right, in which we have the common HTML code, right. Let's say you can say the navigation bar, the footer, these are same, okay, in all the pages. Only the what changes, the changes that is the, you can say, the main content, right, okay. That is you can see, go to this website, right, this you can say this VS Code website, right, then you can see only this content part changes. But you can see if you just go scroll down, you can see this is the footer, and this is the, you can say, the navigation part. This remains the same for, you can say, for all these pages. If I click on this blog, now there will be also, you can say, the same navigation bar and the same footer, right. So this is the use of, you can say, the template inheritance, right. Okay, now after writing this much of thing, I'm just copying this thing and just pasting this, you can see, in the posts.html file, right, just like this. Now just change this to posts, right. Now save this. Now go to the browser, just refresh this. Now if I go to the post, it will show me this post. Go to the home, it will show me this home, okay. Now let's, you can say, make it more beautiful, okay. So let's add, you can say, a carousel, and you can say some, you can say, let's create some posts at this point. So we are going to see everything, right. So still, right at this point, what you have to do is just smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video on social medias, right, and comment me how is this video going, right. So let's continue. Okay, now let's create the, you can say, the carousel part, right. So let's go back to the bootstrap, right, and at this point in the component section you're going to find this carousel. Click on this carousel, right, and just go below, and let's see which carousel we are going to use. Okay, this looks nice, so I'm just going to use this carousel. You can just use any carousel you want, right. Just copy this code, right, and just go to your VS Code, and just go to this index.html, right, and just remove this, and right here dot container, just creating a div, right, with the class of container, and pasting that inside this, right. Now save this one, just go to the browser and just refresh it, and you're going to find this, right. So actually the image are actually not loading, right. So let's add some images, right. So for that I'm just going to, you can see, the Unsplash, right, and I'll provide this, you can see this link in the description box, or you can just search for this unsplash.com, right, very simple. Okay, I'm just searching for, let's say, coding, hit enter. Okay. So let's, you can see, just downloading some images from this point. So let's see this one. So I want, you can say, where is that, save, you can just click on this. I'm just downloading the image, or one thing I can do without downloading, right. So let's first see, click on, you can say, this, just copy the link address, right. Now just go to the VS Code, and where is that, the img tags, img, right. Just replace this with this, right. Now save this. Now just go to the browser and just refresh this, and let's see, is this working? No, that's not working right now. Okay, let's see what's going wrong with that, right. Just click on this, right click at this point, click on this open image new tab, right. Now copy this link, just go to the VS Code, replace this link with that link, and just save this. Now just go to the browser and just refresh it, and now we got this, right. Okay, now similarly I'm just going to, you can say, add 2 more images, right. So let's say this one, just click on this, where is that, open image in new tab, right. Copy this link, go to the VS Code, and just replace this img and this img, okay, not this img, right. Just replace this img with this link, right. Now save this. Now let's choose another image, right. So let's see, for this image, right. So right click at this point, okay, and just click on this open image in new tab, just copy this link, go to the VS Code, paste it at this point, right, save this, go to the browser, and just refresh your website, right. Now just click on this, Now you can see this carousel, right? Now let's you can say I want some, you can say some, I want just adjust the height, right? So at this point you can say after this I'm starting here, let's say style equals to, give the quotes and right here width, width equals to, not just give a column, not equals, right? Right here width and give the column right here 100%, give the semicolon right here height. Okay, height will be let's say 50 VH. Now save this. Now just go to the browser. It will be 50 VH, right? Save this, go to the browser. Now just refresh it, and you will find this, right? So let's increase the, you can say the height. Let's say 260. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and okay. Now we have to do this. Do the same. You can say in other two images, right? So at this point, and where is that second other image? Let's see. At this point, right? So I'm using control, and you can see the mouse click. I'm just creating multiple cursors. Just paste that at this point, right? Now just go to, you can see this website. Just refresh it, and you're going to find this, right? Now let's adjust, you can see this width also, right? That's looking weird, right? So right here one thing that will be writing here, let's say that will be object dash fit to be, let's say, cover, right? Now save this, I'll just go to the browser, refresh it, and let's see. Yeah, I think that's working. Now let's just, you can say, just copy this kind of thing, pasting there, you can say after this and after this. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you will find this, right? Now it looks nice, right? So now let's change this. Okay, so let's say I'm writing here, let's say hello, welcome to coding blog, right? And I'm not changing this. Obviously you will change this, right? So I'm just changing, of course, but I'm not changing, right? So I'm just changing to, let's say, I'm just not changing that because nothing, none of the, you can say, nothing ideas coming from my mind right now, right? So just I will leave it as it is, right? Just refresh it. Okay, it will just showing me this hello, welcome to coding blog, right? And what I can do is you can see, just change this H5 to H3 and this to also H3, so that the text will look somehow bigger, right? Just like this. Okay, now we have created, you can see, this carousel, right? Now we can just add some posts. Okay, now before that I want to, you can say, introduce you about, you can say, the static files, right? Okay, now just go back to the VS Code, right? And just minimize this and this and this, right? Now inside this folder, right, this block folder where this manage.py is located, right, where this template is also located, we are just going to create a new folder and name it as static, right? Now hit enter. Now what is the static directory? Actually the static directory holds, or you can say it actually contains all the CSS files, JavaScript files, all the images or videos, right, that you see in a website, right? So inside this, let's say I'm just creating another folder, let's say naming it as images, right? And you can say we got this images, right? And inside this I'm just going to add some images. So let's go to the Unsplash, right, and let's download some images, right? Let's say I'm just downloading this one, download this, right? And let's say download this also, right? Okay, and let's say download one more. Let's say download this one, right? Okay, so I'm downloading, you can see the 3 images. So let's, you can say, open this. Okay, I'm just zooming for you. Just go to the static files, click on these images, right, and just drag and drop those images to this point, right? Where is that? This one and this one, right? So I've just, you can say, just drag and drop these images, right? So just renaming this image to, let's say, img2 this will be, let's say, img1, and let's say this to not to open this, I want to rename that, right? So I'm just going to name it as img3, right? So I have 3 images, right? You can say in my static directory, right? Now just open the VS Code and you can see this image at this point, right? Now if I want to see these images, you can say in my index.html file. So for that we have to do some settings, right? So let's first go to the settings.py file in our you can say project folder. So just open the settings.py file, right? Just go down and you're going to find this static URL, right? Now you can just refer your static directory using this /static/, right? Now we're going to add something more at this point so that we can use our static you can say files in our HTML, right? So I'm just going to write here static files underscore dirs, right? Dirs, right? Static files, okay, static files underscore dir equals to, I'm just creating a list, and inside this I'm writing here that is os.park.join, and I'm writing here, okay, it will be in small letters, right? Okay, os.park.join, right? And we have to import this OS module. So I'm just going to the top, right? And at this point, let's say this point, I'm just importing OS, right here, import OS, right? Now just go back to this point and right here, okay, base dir, give a comma, and just inside the quotes right here, static, right? And after we can see this right at this point, let's say that is the static root. So right here, static underscore root equals to this will be again os.park.join, and inside this right here base dir, give a comma, right? And inside this right here assets, right? Okay, it will be assets, right? This will be assets. Okay, now save this much of thing. Now I'm just adding a comment at this point. Let's say that is manual, you can say addition of static files, right? Save this. Now after this, just go to the index.html file, right, and close this settings.py file, right? And you can say at the top, right, just go to, not to the index.html file, just go to the base.html file, and at the top of the base.html file, right, before this doc type, right, at this point, this load, and write here static, right? Now save this. Now just go to the index.html file, and after that, let's say just select this much of thing first, up to this, right? Up to this, right? Just press tab and tab, just like this, and just minimize this, right? Okay. Now you can say after you can say this div, right? Okay, I'm just creating another div, let's say with a class of container again. Okay, container, creating a div with a class of container, and inside this I'm just adding, you can say, some images, right? So I'm just creating some cards, right? So just go to the bootstrap.com, right? And here you're going to find these cards. Click on these cards, right? And then let's say which card I should choose. Let's say I'm just going to choose this card, right? So just copy this code, go to the VS Code, and paste that inside this, right? Just like this. Okay, and this one also. Okay, now okay, also select this one and hit tab, right? Okay, now this looks nice, right? Now if I want to show the image at this point, what can I do? Just remove this 3 dots, and right here just give, you can say, this curly braces, give the percentile symbol, right? And inside this right here static, right? Static, give the, you can see, the quotes, and inside this right here /images/img1.jpg. now save this. Now just go to the browser and just go to your website and just refresh it, and we are getting an error, that is static expected end block, right? So one thing we have to do, that is you can see we have, you can say, added, you can see this load static, you can say, in the base relation file. We have to also, you can say, add this, you can say, to this also, right, to the index relation file. So you can say at the top, just paste that. Now save this and go to the browser. Now just refresh it, right? Now it is telling us that extends. Okay, so as I have said you, this should be at the top, so just take it to the top. Now refresh it again, and we got that, right? And let's see, we're getting the image or not. Yeah, we got the image, right? So what I want is, I want some gap between these two, right? So at this container, I'm just adding, you can say, some margin in the, you can see, in the y-axis, right? Let's say my to be 3. Now save this, just go to the browser, refresh that, and okay, it's not giving us. So what I can do is, okay, this is not my, I'm so sorry, this is mt, sorry. Okay, save this, now go to the browser, refresh that, and we got that, right? Okay, my is also correct, I would say, right? So I want to increase this more, right? So make it as mt5, right? Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and let's see. Yeah, we got that. So at this point, you can see this card, right? Now I want to do some changes. Let's say I'm writing here this card title to be, let's say, Python, and let's change, you can say, this go somewhere to, let's say, read more, right? Just like this. Save this to the browser, refresh that, and you're going to find that at this point, right? Let's refresh it. We got it, right? Okay, refresh. Okay, we got it. Now in similar way, we are going to create some cards, but you can see, if I'm just going to add cards like just like this is going to only just copy paste, and this, okay, takes, like you say, a lot of time, right? So for this we have the database, right? We have some models, so we are going to discuss now about the models. So we are now, what I'm going to do is, we are just going to add, you can say, this type of cards to our post page, right? So first we are going to design our post page, then we will see then how can we you can say take the posts from the post page to the, you can say, to the home page, right? So let's see that. So just go to the post page, right, and just go to the VS Code, just open this post.html, right? And at this point, what I'm going to do is, let's say, I'm just adding this, changing this h1 to, let's say, read this amazing posts, right, by let's say, coding blog, right? Just make this be capital, just change this to G, and just change this into capital. Okay, save this. Now go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see this. Now I want, you can say, some padding, and I also want, you can say, to make, I just want, you can say, the text at the center, right? So what I can do, I'm just adding a class at this point. Okay, class equals to, right here, okay, class, this will be text dash center, I think. Okay, save this with the browser, refresh that. Yeah, we got it, right? Now I want, you can say, some padding, so let's say p3. Save this, go to the browser, refresh that. Yeah, I got the padding, right? Okay, now what I want is, I want to you can say, show some post at this point. So just go to the index relational file, just copy this entire container, right? Just this container, this method, and just paste that, you can say, in the, you can say, after this, right, at this point. Now save this, go to the browser, refresh that. Okay, we have to also add, you can say, the static, right? So right here, static, okay, static, and right here, okay, not static, but right here, load, hit enter. Okay, we got that, right? Here just load the static at this point, right? So don't forget this, right? Now save this, now just go to the browser and refresh it, and now you can see this, we got this, right? Okay, now we are going to create, you can say, the models. So what are models? Models are actually the tables, right? So in the, you can see, in our home app, you are going to find this you can say, this models.py file. Just open this file, right? So before this models.py file, let me show you the models which are already created, you can say, by the Django, right, in the database. So let's go to the database, right? So you can see to visit the database we have to create the super user. Okay, so just press Ctrl C at this point, right? CLS, and right here Python, okay, manage.py make migrations. So I'm just you can say migrating my the existing models, right? So the existing models are actually the user models, right? So you can say in Django we have the user models which are by default, right, which handles, so you can say the user, right? So I'm just you can say migrating them. So you have to just write this command python manage.py make migrations and hit enter, right? Right, and right here python manage.py migrate, right? Okay, so you can see at this point it has just changed, you can see the database, right? So the database has been created. Now logging into the database we have to create the super user. So right here python manage.py create super user and hit enter, right? Now let's say I'm just writing it here, let's say admin, hit enter, just leaving it as blank. Password, let's say 1234, 1234, let's say yes. Okay, so our super user has been successfully created. So just run the server again. Now go to the browser, right, and at this point right here admin slash, right? Now just log in into this. So right here admin, right, and just right here 1234 login, right? And you are going to find this, you can say these are the user models, right? So these are the default models which are given by Django, right? So if you click on this users, right, you are going to find this type of you can say a chart, or you can say a table, right? Here admin, here email address, the first name, last name, we are not given anything, right? We are just using the username we just created our admin, right? So if I click on this admin, right, we are going to find this type of models, right? So these are actually the forms, right? So there are two things, one is tables, one is forms, right? So we are just going to, you can say, create the tables, and inside the tables we have the forms, right? So for that just go to the VS Code, right, and at this point I'm just going to create you can say the models. So I'm just naming it as, let's say, post. So I'm writing here a comment, this is post model, right? And right here it is actually based on object oriented programming, right? So I'm just going to create a class. So if you don't know object oriented programming, then you don't have to worry, right? Okay, there is no problem, just following what I'm doing, right? So right here class give a space right here, let's say you can just give any name you want, right? So I'm just writing here, let's say post, right? And inside this, right, just you can inside the curly braces you have to write that is models dot model, right? Give the column, hit enter. Now inside this we are going to, you can say, create the field, right? So the first field I want is, let's say, title. That you can say in our blog we have a post, and the post will have a title, right? So title equals to, this will be models, okay, dot, let's say, char field, and the max length will be let's say 150, right? Now similar I want to create, you can say, the post description. So right here post underscore description equals to let's say, or simply right here description, right? Okay, description equals to, let's say, models dot, let's say, text field, right? Simply then what I want is, now we need the image URL, but so I'm just writing here simply URL, right? So I will be discussing about the, you can see, the media directory, right? But first let's talk about a pretty much simple way, right? So I'm just writing here, let's say, image underscore URL equals to, let's say, that will be models dot let's say it will be also text field, right? Simple. Now save this. Now after that what you have to do is we have to migrate this, right? So just right here press Ctrl C, So first we're going to, you can say, make migrations, right? Remember these two commands because we have to use these commands, right? You can set this point create model post, right? So it has been created, the post model, right? Now we have to see the change in our database. We have to run the command, that is python manage.py migrate. Hit enter, right? So finally you can say applying home. You can say this has been, you can see it has applied, you can say the changes on our database. So let's run the server again, right? Now just go to the browser, right, at this point. So just refresh it, right? Now click on this. Okay, now we are not going to find the, you can say, our models at this point, right? So where we are not getting our models, the answer is we have to register our models also, right? So go to the VS Code, right, and you are going to find this admin.py. Open this, right, and at this point you have to just register your models right here. Admin.site.register, and right here your model name. In my case it is post, right? Now we have to also import the post. So right here from dot models import post, right? Now save this. Now just go to the browser. Now refresh this, and you are going to find, you can say, your post model, right? Now click on this, right, and you can say there is 0 post. So let's create one post, right? So I'm just going to click on this add post, right, and at this one you're going to find this title, description, this image URL. So let's say I want to make the title, let's say Django. Okay, description will be, this is Django tutorial, right? And just replicating this several times, right? Save this, and now just you have to paste, you can say, the image URL. So let's go to, you can see, this point, and let's find more URLs at this point. Okay, let's say just, you can say, using this, you can say, this image, right? So click on this image, right? Okay, right click at this point. You can say just click on this open image in new tab, right? Now copy this URL, right? Go to your database and paste the URL at this point, right? Now just save this, right? So you can say we are getting this post object 1, right? And we have just created, you can say, one post. Now we don't want to see this post object. I want to see Django at this point, right? I want to see the name, or you can say, of the title, right, of my post. So just go to VS Code, right, and just go to the models.py file, right, and at this point right here dep __ str __, right, and this will, you can say, the syntax is just like this, dep __ str __, it will just accept, you can say, and self, and it will return self.name. Now in my case I don't have name, it will be title, right? Okay, now save this. Now just go to the browser and just refresh this, right? Okay, now you're going to find this, right, this Django list, right? Now I want to, you can say, I want to fetch this post in my views.py file, right? In my views.py file I want to fetch, you can say, the post, right? So I want to fetch the post from my database to the views.py, and then I will, you can say, render. Okay, I will just send this you can say, the post from views.py to the index.html page, right? So for that we have right here from dot models import, okay, from dot models import post, right? Okay, I'm just, you can see, importing my post model at this point, and then inside you can see this home right here, let's say post equals to post dot object, right, post dot objects dot all, right? Okay, all, right? So this means I am just fetching, you can say, all the post, right, from my post object, right? Okay, now after this you can say I want to, you can say, I have to send this post, okay, this, you can, this post to my index.html file, right? So for that we have to create, you can say, a dictionary. So I'm just creating a context. Let's say I'm writing here context equals to, it will be a dictionary, okay, and inside this I'm writing here, let's say, post. This will be post. So I hope your Python basics will be cleared, and if you want to learn the Python basics, then I have a complete Python basic tutorial on my channel, right? You can just check out that. I will provide, you can see the link in the description box, right? Okay, now we have to, you can say, pass this inside this. So right here, just give a comma right here, context. Pretty much simple, right? Now save this and just go to the index.html file right at this point. Now we are going to use the for loop, right? So just let me, you can use the for loop, then I am just going to explain, right? So I want to, you can say, replicate this card, right? Okay, this card div. So you can say before this card div, I'm writing here for, hit enter, right? As we are using the Django extension, so it is autocomplete, right? So for let's say post, not post, right here, let's say for I in post, right? And then you can say, now just remove this and paste that, you can say, after this div, right? After this div at this point, right? Now you can say at this point, I'm just writing here, okay, one thing we are going to wrong, right? I don't want to see, you can say, I don't want to see my post in the index.html file, right? For right now, I want to render this in my post.html. So I'm just pressing Ctrl Z, just like this. Save this, and then go to the post.html file, and just first go to the views.py file, right? And just copy this much of thing, remove this, and paste that inside the post.html file, right? We have done the same, but we don't have to, you can say, render this, you can say, in our home, you can say, home page, right? First, so I want to, you can say, render this, you can say, I want to just show those posts on my post.html file first, right? So I'm just doing the same, you can say, on the post.html file, right? And here we have to, you can say, pass the context, right? Just like this. Now go to the post.html file, right? And you can say before this card div, right? And after this, you can say at this point, right here, for, right? Let's say I in post, right? Just remove this much of thing, right? And you can say paste that, you can say, after this, right? At this point, right? Now save this. Now you can say, just change, you can say, this thing, remove this, and right here, let's say that is I dot image, right? I'm just fetching, you can say, the image URL. So let's see what is the name of our image URL. So click on this Django, is image URL, right? So this will be image underscore URL, right? Now just save this. Now change, you can say, this Python to I dot title, right? And the change, you can say, this much of part to I dot desc. Now one thing I want to tell you at this point, when you are going to write simply just like this, you are not going to find that, right? So you can say to render, you can say, or to fetch, you can say, the files, or you can say the posts, okay, from the database, or you can say from the views.py, we have to just put this inside double curly braces, just like this. So you have to put this inside the double curly braces, right? And this one also. Save this. Now just go to the browser, okay? Now just opening in one more tab, right? So right here 127, I'm just opening, you can see this one. Click on this posts, okay, just refresh it, and we are not getting that. Let's see why we're not getting that. So I dot image underscore URL. So just go to the models.py file, and it is okay. We have just missed out the spelling, okay, image. So we have just missed out the spelling. It is IMGAE. So I'm just just leaving it as it is. So just copy this and paste that at this point. Save this. Go to the browser. Now just refresh it, and you can see this, right? So this is pretty much simple, right? Now you can say, okay, just remove this dot so that we can see, you can say, the description part. Save this. Go to the browser. Refresh that, and at this point you can see this. We are getting, you can say, the post, right? So this is quite messy. I don't want to see this much of the complete entire post at this point, right? I want to see this when I click on this read mode, right? So we have for that that is truncats, right? So let's say at this point I'm just searching for where is that search bar at this point. that is truncast. So TRUNCHERS, truncast. Okay, truncast. See, enter. Right. So it is actually one of the filters. So it is not showing in the results. So just right here, trunk. Okay, truncast in Django. I think I just missed out the spelling. Right. It is not truncast. It is truncatcast. Okay, truncatcast. Right. So you can say why is that Django documentation. Okay, we are not finding the Django documentation at this point. So click on this Stack Overflow. That doesn't matter, right? And let's see what it is saying. Right now, you can see you have to just define the value. Then right here truncast. Then right here 9, just like this. So let's say this is you can see the syntax, right? So just go to the you can see the VS Code, right? And at this point you can say at this point, right? Why is that? Okay, at this point, right? You can say after you can see this description part, give the pipe symbol, right? And just you can say at this point right here, that is the trunk characters, right? The truncatcast, right? Just copying the spelling from at this point. I don't want you can say the spelling mistake again. Copy this, just pasting that at this point, right? Remove this extra space from this point, right? So there should not be any type of space. I hope so. Yeah, there should not be any type of space. So remove this extra space also, right? So this is the actual syntax. So just look at carefully, right? And just give the colon, right? And just specify the symbol, specify the value, right? So let's say I want to see only 50 characters. Save this. Go to the browser, go to your website, then just refresh it, and you can see I'm just getting only 50 characters at this point, and you can see this. You are going to find this dot, right? So this is quite awesome, right? If you want, you can just write here 100 if you want, right? If you want to see 100, you can say 100 lines at this point, 100 characters, right? So this is up to you. So I'm just leaving it as 50 so that it will look good, right? Refreshes. Okay, now let's let me give a brief summary of what we have done till now, right? So first we have created, you can say, the database. So to create the database, we have to first, you can say, do some migrations, right? So in the Django, you can say at this point we have this default models, right? The group model and the users model, right? So we have to first migrate these two models to our database so that our database will be created. Then what we are going to do, we are just going to create the super user. That means the admin user, who is the administrator, who is the owner of this website, right? So we have just created, you can say, the admin. So how I have created the super user is pretty much simple. We have to just run the command python manage.py create super user, right? And then you have to just fill the, you can say, the forms that we have seen, right? And after that you can say after that we have just created, you can say, the super user. And after the super user is successfully created, you can just log in into your database, right? And once you have just you can say after logging into the database, you are going to find only these two models, right? So I want to create some more models, right? So for that you can see in the home app we have this models.py file, right? Inside this models.py file we have just created, you can see, this post model, right? So it is actually based on object-oriented programming, right? If you don't know object-oriented programming, then you don't have to worry, right? Simply follow what I have done, right? You have to just create, you can say, a class, name it as post, okay, and you can just name it as whatever you want, right? And just inside it just accepts this, you can see, this models.model, right? And after that you can see we have this form fields, right? These are actually the fields of our form. There is title, description. If you want, you can just add more, right? And after that we have added this. So this is to show, you can say, this one, right? This title one, right? If you will write just change this title to, let's say, DESC, so your description part will be shown at this point, right? So to be convenient, okay, you will be also okay. You are just going to use this title, right? Okay. Now once you are just created, you can see this post model at this point. You have to register your post model in your admin.py file, right? So that by running this command admin.site.register, and inside this you write your post name, not post name, that is model name, right? And you have to import your model, right? And after that what you have to do is you have to just run the command, that is python manage.py make migrations, and then you have to run the command python manage.py make, okay, not make, it is migrate, right? So you have to just run the command migrations and then migrate. After that, you are going to find, you can see the changes at this point. You're going to find this post model at this point, right? Once you are just getting, you can see this post model, you are just going to create your post. So initially these are 0, so you can just create post. So you can just click on this add post. Let's say I'm just creating another post, let's say Python, right? A description, let's say this is Python tute, and just pasting this several times more, just like this, right? And now just you can find that you can just paste the image URL. So let's say I'm just pasting this same image URL again, right? Right, you can just paste different image URLs at this point, but I will be telling you how can you add your custom image from your you can say from your computer system, from your own, you can say from your directory, right? So okay, I will telling you afterwards, right, about that, right? So I'll just save this. Right now, after saving this, what we've done is we have just gone, you can say, to our views.py file. We have fetched, you can say, the models, right, at this point, and then we have, you can say, fetch all the posts from our models, right, using this command, is post.objects.all, right? And after that, you can say I have just stored this post into this post you can say post variable, right? So actually this is nothing but, you can say, a key, right? It is actually dictionary, and this is a key, and this is the value. The value is this one, right? Okay, and then I have, you can say, passed this context to the, you can say, to my post.html, just like this, right? And after that, I just, you can say, in the post.html I have used only a simple for loop, right, to fetch, you can, to get all, to show all the posts that I have in my database, right? So you can say for I, you can just write, you can just change this I to whatever you want, right? So to be convenient, I written here as for I in post. Then the one is the image URL, one is, you can say, the title, one is the description, right? Now yeah, whenever you can say you fetch whenever you want to show your something from the database, you have to use this double curly braces, right? And after that, after saving this one, we are going to find, you can say, our posts at this point, right? Just like this, right? And then I have used this truncate characters, right? Truncate chars. So what is this truncate chars? Truncate chars means it will just, you can say, I don't want to show the entire post. I want to see, you can say, or you can say show a limited characters, you can say, on my post page, right? Because whenever you can say the user will click on this, read more, it will show the complete, you can say, the post, the complete post, right? So for right now, it will do nothing, because we have not created, you can say, the view page, or you can say the page where the user can see these posts, right? Okay, now this you can just okay, this is the syntax. So you have to just create a pipe, okay, and then you have to write, just write here the truncate, right? Truncate chars, okay, and then just specify the value at this point, right? So this is actually the filters, right? If you go, you can say, to the browser, and you can say search at this point, let's say that is Django Filters, hit enter, right? Click on this Django Documentation, right? And you are going to find, you can say, okay, this is not the official documentation, just go back. Where is the Django Documentation? This one, right? The built-in template tags and filters. Click on this link, right? And let's see, and you are going to find, you can see this one, right? So these are actually the filters one, right? So there are a lot of filters at this point. You can just go and check this out, right? Okay, just check this out and you can enjoy this, right? Okay, let's say we are getting the truncate, okay, the truncate chars or not, right here, truncate chars, right? We got that, right? At this point you can find this truncate chars. So this is just like this. So I will just put this, you can see this link in the description box, right? Okay, now finally we have, you can say, fetch our we can say the post from our database. So we have seen how can we, you can say, create models in our models, right? How can we fetch the models, and how can I display the models on my screen on my website, right? Okay, so similar way I'm just adding more cards at this point, right? So I'm just fast forwarding the video, and then I'm just seeing you afterwards, right? So finally at this point you can say I have added, you can say total 5, you can say total 5 posts at this point, right? So there are total 5 posts, you can say, in my database. So just go to, you can say, the website, just refresh it, and you can see you can just going to find this, right? So you can say how shrinking is this, right? So I don't want to shrink this, right? So one thing I can do at this point, where is that? Okay, at this point, right? It's right here, style. Okay, style equals to, and right here let's say that is flex dash wrap. It will be wrap, right? Give the semicolon. Now save this, go to the browser, refresh this. So we are getting, you can say, 1 2 3 posts at this point. So one thing I can do at this point is just change this m-4 to m-2. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you're going to find this, right? So 1 2 3 4, I'm just, you can say, displaying 4 posts in one post, right? So you can say just change, you can say somehow, you can say the what is that, the CSS, right? I just added some CSS to this, right? There is only this, you can say this one, what is that? The style flex wrap will be wrap, and this just change this m-4 to m-2, right? So this is pretty much simple. Now we are going to see how can we, you can say, when I click on this, I want to see the entire post, right? Now if you want, you can just you can change this, you can say this image URLs, right? These image URLs, I just use the same URL, right? Okay, to quickly create, you can say, the post, right? So let's see how can we create, you can say, the view page where we are going to you can say the where we are going to see, you can say, the complete post, right? Okay, now just go back to the VS Code, and inside you can see this home folder, right? At this point, just create a new file and name it as, let's say, post underscore view dot html, right? Hit enter, and right here extends base dot html, right? Now save this, just okay, close this one, go to the views.py, right? And at this point what I'm going to do is right here just create a function dev, and the function, okay, the name will be, let's say, post underscore view. It will accept, you can say, the same thing, there is a request, okay. It will return, okay, render accepts the request, right? And then it will render the template. So in this case it is home slash post underscore view, right, dot html, right? Now save this message, go to the that is the urls.py file, right? At this point just copy and paste this again, just remove this one, and this one, right? And right here post underscore view, right? Save this. Now just go to, you can say, go to the browser, and at this point just right here, let's say there is post underscore view, right, slash, hit enter. Yeah, we got that, right? Now what I want is, here I want to see, you can say, our image, right? So just go to the, you can say, this one, and click on this components, okay. Now let's first add, you can say, a container, right? So I'm just going to back to the VS Code, go to the post viewer, okay, HTML, right? At this point, okay, right here, block body, right? And it will be, let's say, you can say it can be a container, right? So right here dot container dash fluid, right? And inside this I'm just having, you can say, an ing tag, okay. Now I want, you can say, an image, so just, you can say, go to this point, I'm just copying this, okay, this image link, right? Pasting it at this point, save this, go to the browser, okay, just refresh this, okay, it's loading, right? Okay, so now what I can do is just give here m-0 p-0. Save this with the browser, refresh it. Yeah, I want, you can see this image on this entire page, right? So at this point, right, style equals to, okay, it will be width of 100%, okay, 100%, and let's say height, okay, let's say height of 50 vh, right? This will be enough, I hope so. Go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see this. Okay, right here, object dash fit, it will be covered. Okay, save this to the browser, refresh it, and you can find this, right? So we're just getting the image, right? So we just increase this height to, let's say, 60 vh. Save this to the browser, refresh it. Okay, now what I want is, you can see the heading at this point, right? So after, you can say this div, you can say another div, let's say simply container, okay, container, right? And inside this, I'm just having, you can say, an h1, where I will be having my title. Let's say it will be Django, okay, and then I want, you can say, the description part, right? So a paragraph tag, let's say lorem 100. Save this in the browser, refresh it, and we are getting this, right? So what I want is, I want to just give it a class, let's say, I want, you can say, some padding of, let's say, 2. Save this in the browser, refresh it. Yeah, or let's say px, right? Or let's say py, it will be a py of 2, right? So this with the browser, refresh it. Yeah, we got that. And what I want is, yeah, that's fine, right? Now just change, you can say, just add some more text at this point. Let's say lorem 200, and save this with the browser, refresh it, and we are getting this, right? Now I want, you can say, some spacing from the bottom. So just give it, you can say right here, class equals to mb of, let's say, 5. Save this with browser, refresh, and we are getting that, right? Okay, quite awesome, right? So what I want is, when I just click, you can say, on any of this post, I want, you can say, to see the entire post, right? So for that, we have, you can say, different types of URL fields, right? Let's say that will be okay, maybe it will be int, maybe it will be str, maybe it will be a slug. So we will be using, you can say, an str slug field, right? So what you can do is, just go to the VS Code at this point, go to the models.py, right? And at this point, I'm just going to add, you can say, slug field, right? Slug, it will be equals to models dot char field, right? And the max length will be, let's say, 50, right? Save this. Now we have to migrate this, right? Press Ctrl C. Okay, python manage.py, make migrations, okay, hit enter. Okay, we have done some spelling mistake again. Let's remove this. Migrations. Okay, now hit enter. Okay, so we have to provide, you can say, some default values, right? Just hit to enter. Okay, so just at this point, we have to give some default values, because you can say, there are, you can say, in the database we have, you can say, okay, just refresh it. Okay, our server is not running right now. So in our database, we have actually, you can say, 5 to 6, you can say, posts, right? And those posts do not have any type of slug field. So what can we give to them? It will be default, right? Just give it as blank. Save this. Now just to make the migrations command, okay, right here, migrate. So if any type of background noise is coming, just ignore it. The dogs are actually howling, right? So now run the server again. Okay, now go to the browser, refresh it, and just go to this point. Now just refresh it again. Right, now go to the database. Right, okay, so click on the, let's say on this Django. You're going to find this. Let's say I was just giving a slug build. Let's say p-1. Right, now just save this. Just click on this Python. So I'm just giving, you can set the slug build to this. Right, let's say p-2. Just save that. Okay, click on this. Okay, right here p-3, let's say, save this. Click on the C++, just right here p-4, right, save this. Click on this Swift, just click right here p-5 and just save this. Right, okay, now just you can say go to the VS Code. Right, go to your views.py. Right, inside this, what I'm going to write here is you can say, actually I have to fetch the slug. Right, so where is our url.py? So if I just change this, you can say this URL. Right, so this will be actually just like this. Give the angle brackets right here str, give a colon right here slug, just like this. Right, and now what I'm going to do is just save this. Now go to the views.py. Now it accepts that slug. Right, so right here slug. Right, now at this point what I'm going to do is right here, let's say post underscore view equals to let's say it will be post. Okay, I'm just fetching the posts. Right, dot objects dot filter. Okay, filter. Right, and it will be slug will be equals to slug. So this slug is actually the slug, you can say, of the database, and this slug is actually the slug of which is coming from, you can say, the URL. Right, okay, right here dot first, because I want, you can say, a unique slug. Right, only one slug. Right, right here context, it will be a dictionary. Just right here that will be this one. Just copy this one. Right, okay, give the quotes, paste this, with the colon, paste this at this point, give the comma, save this. Right, now just pass the context at this point. Okay, now what you can do, just go to, you can see the post underscore view.html. Right, and at this point I'm just going to use, you can say, the for loop again. Right, so just remove this much of thing. Right, so and just remove this one also. I don't think we are not going to use a for loop, right, because we have to only render, you can say, only a single post. Right, so this will be what is that, what is the views.py, what is it? Okay, just copy this one, go to the post. Okay, view. Okay, just right here, let's say, give the curly braces. It is post underscore view dot title. Right, save this. Okay, and this will be post underscore view, right, dot desc description. Right, I hope so. Yeah, it is title actually. So just copy this, paste that. Okay, this title is. Oh, I'm just wearing. Okay, now what I do is, where is that post.html? Right, at this point. So just remove this hashtag at this point. Right here slash. It is actually the slug field. So where is it? I dot slug. Right, give this again. Save this. Now just go to the browser, go to your website, just refresh the page, just click on this. We are getting, right, we are getting, but we are not getting using the title at this point. So let's see what is going to be wrong at the point. Right, so it is post underscore view dot title, post underscore view dot description, and we are not going to fetch the description at this point. So what is going to be wrong with this? So let's see, just refresh it again and we're not getting that. So what's going to be wrong with this? Go to the views.py, it is post.view, right? It is post. I'm just fetching this one, the filter slug will be slug first, okay. The URL is also working perfectly, nothing wrong with that. Right, this is post underscore view.html, this post underscore view.title, okay. Okay, title, let's see the models at this point. Copy this one, go to, you can see the post at view, paste that, save this in the browser, refresh it, and we're not getting that. So what is going to be wrong with that? We are not finding, you can say, the post. So what is going to be wrong with that? Let's see. Okay, just let's say stop the server, press CLS, just run server again, right? And let's see. Just go to this page, click on this post, click on this. Yeah, we are getting that, right? So finally we are getting that. That is actually okay, the Django sometimes gets stuck, right? So just okay, you can say just close, you can say your server, and again just run your server, and then the problem is shut, right? It is shut off, right? So what we can do is now just you can say we can just replace this URL, okay, with, you can say there will be with this URL, right? That is post, okay, paste this, okay, post underscore view dot im, what is that spelling? Okay, this one, just copy this. Where is that? At this point, just paste that, save this with the browser, refresh it, and that works very fine, right? Okay, so finally we have done, right? You can say we can just see the post this point. If I click on this post again and I click on this, I can see this post, right? If I click on, you can see this one, I can see this, right? It's quite awesome, right? Awesome. Now we're going to see how can we fetch the, you can say the cards at this point, right? So just go to the VS Code, go to the index.html, right? Okay, let's say I want to fetch the latest post. So what do you mean by the latest post, right? So if I will say I want to fetch the last post, right? Now if I go to the database, okay, let's go to the database first, right? Now at this point you can say this is the last post. So whenever I will be adding some more posts, those posts will be becoming the last post, right? This means the latest posts are actually the last post, right? So I want to fetch, you can say just go to the views.py, right? Just go to this, you can say the home, right? At this point, and at this point I want to fetch the post. So post equals to post dot objects dot all, right? Okay, so actually this is nothing but a list, right? This is a list, you can say, of all of these items, right? All of these posts, right? Now let me explain one thing, right? Let's create a simple list. Let's say x equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? So this is nothing but actually a simple list, right? Now this is actually a simple list, right? Now if I ask you the length of this list, right? Okay, which is, let's say length is, let's say 4, obviously it is 4, right? If I will ask you for, you can say the length, you can say of this list, that is 4, right? And if I will ask you the index of this fourth, right, of this 4, right, of the, like you said, the last item, so your answer must be, obviously that is 3, right? So the length is 4 and you can say the last index is 3. So can you can say just notice the relation between them? It is nothing, right? But the last index, that is 3, is equals to 4 minus 1. So we're just going to use this, you can say this logic, right? So just remove this much of thing, right? At this point, let's say I want to fetch the last post, right? last equals to post. Okay, I will use the indexing. So you will be thinking, why we are not using the negative index? If I will be using negative index, then I can also fetch the last, you can say the last post. But in Django it will give you an error because it does not support the negative indexing. So for that we have to use this logic, right? I'm just, you can say, fetching the length, right, of this post, right, and I'm just doing -1 of that, right? And let's say I want to fetch the title, so I write here title, just like this. Now if I print this, right, print let's say last, save this, and just go to the browser, right, just refresh this, right. Now just go to, you can see at this point, just open the terminal, right, and at this point you can find this script right at this point, right, you can see this, right. So this is working. So I'm just removing this much of thing. I will be putting that directly, you can say, in that what is that, in the templates, right. So just save this. So in a similar way, I'm just going to fetch the second last, right, second underscore last. Okay, second underscore last equals to, just copy this line, or not, don't copy that, right, just write here last -1, simple, right. Now not last -1, right, we have to just copy this one, right, because the last -1 is something else, right. So just copy that one, just write here -2, right, right here -3, and just change this second last to the third last, right, third last, just like this. Okay, now I'm just going to pass these things, so just remove this, and at this point I'm just going to write here context. It will be a dictionary, obviously, right. So this will be, let's say, last, this will be last, right, this will be second underscore last, right, this will be second underscore last, right, and this will be third underscore last, right, and this will be obviously the third underscore last, right. Now I'm just passing these three things, right, and I have to also pass, you can say, this post also, right, not this post, we don't need that post anymore, right. So save this one, just pass the context to the template at this point, you get context, right, save this, go to the index.html page at this point, right, and just, let's say, I'm just removing, you can see, this Python, and I'm just, you can say, writing here, you give the double curly braces, right, and right here what is that, last, and I want to fetch the title, last dot title, right. Now save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and I'm just getting script, right. So I'm just getting the script right at this point. So just remove this much of thing, and just remove this, and just write here last dot description, DESC. Save this, go to the browser, refresh that, and let's see, we are getting that, right. So we have to use a truncate case, right. So just write here truncate case, it will be 50, right. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and it will become 50 characters, right. Okay, now at this point I'm just use the double curly braces, write here last dot slug, right. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and now if I click on this, right, it will redirect me to, you can say, this one, right. You can just go to the view page, right. Now just click on this, right. In a similar way I want to show you can say 3 more, right. So just copy this cards 2 more time, right. Okay, just write here with the underscore, right here second, right, second underscore last, this will be, copy this one, just paste this at this point, save this. Now also change this one, right, just write here there is third underscore last, right, this is third underscore last, just copy this one, just paste it at this point, and at this point, just like this, save this one, right. Now just go to the browser and refresh it, and let's see if we're getting it or not. Okay, finally we're getting that, right. So we can also, you can say, show one more post at this point, right. So at this point I want to, you can say, see these three things, right, at the center, right. So just go to the VS Code, and at this point you can say at this container just right here style equals to right here justify dash content, right, give the colon right here center, give give the semicolon, right, and just right here align dash items, right, okay, align items, it will be center, okay, give a semicolon, save this one, just go to the browser, refresh it, and let's see if we are getting that or not. Yes, we got it, right? Okay, we got this reference, right? That's why I want to increase the margin between them, right? So just you can say just click on this, and click on this, just make it as 5. Save this, go to the browser, refresh there, and let's see, yeah, we're getting that, right? Okay, quite awesome, right? Now this is, you can say, quite weird. Just make this as 4, save this, go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, now what I want to do is finally we are getting, you can say, the post at this point. Okay, now you can see the image, right, the image part. We are just change this image also, right? So this one, okay, and this one also, and this one also, right? Okay, I'll just remove this one and just give the curly braces. Okay, last dot again ga, right? We have just missed out the spelling, right here URL, just see the spelling correctly. Okay, this is right spelling, right? So just save this, just change this one to second, right, give the underscore, change this one to third, give the underscore, save this one, just go to the browser, refresh that, and we are getting the images, right? So finally we are done with the post at this point. If you want to show more posts, you can also do that, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, right? Okay, now you can say the home page is ready, our post page is also ready. Right now what I want to do is, let's say I want to create the search page first, right? Whenever I want to search some post, I should get the, you can say, post, right? So let's do that. Okay, now let's go back to the VS Code, right, and just create a new file right at this point. So just create a new file, name it as, let's say, search .html, right, hit enter, and it will be similar to the post page. Its design will be completely similar to the, you can say, the post page, right? So just click on this post.html, just copy everything at this point, just go to the search.html, just paste those things, right, and the thing that will be changed, that is this one, right? Just change this one, and right here, let's say search, right, let's say search results for, this will be for the query, right? Okay, now after doing this much of thing, right, one thing we need to check, right? So just go to the base.html, right, and let's find out where is, you can say, where is that the nav tag, right, and where is our you can see the search input, right? It is here, right? So class type placeholder. Okay, so at this point, an important thing, that is an important attribute, you can say, we have to add this name right here. Name equals to, right, it will be let's say, you can just give any name, right? Let's say for simplicity, I'm just giving it, let's say, query, right? Okay, now at this point we have to define two more things. Okay, one is action, right? So the form will have an action, right? For right now, just make it as has, right, and it will be having a method, right? So the method will be get. So by default it has a get method, right? But we have two types of method, right? One is get, one is post, right? So we'll discuss about the post when we are going for the, you can say, the contact page, right? So just save this much of thing, right? Now just go to the views.py at this point. Okay, now just come to this point and just create a function at this point. Let's say dev, just name it as, let's say, search, right? It will accept and request. Okay, basically the same syntax, right? it will just accept the request and it will return, okay, it will return render request, okay, just give a comma, and we are going to render the, you can say, home slash search dot html. Okay, save this. Now just go to the urls.py, right? Where is the urls.py? It should be here, right? Now at this point we are going to create, you can say, a path. Just be getting this path, to change this to search, right, and this much of thing to search, right? Pretty much simple, right? Just save this one. Now just go to, you can say, the browser, okay, and at this point just change this post to search, right? Hit enter, and we are going to get, you can say, we're not getting that. Okay, let's go to the post.html, right? And at this point, if I write here, let's say slash p slash, just like this, and I will just add this p, you can say, in my urls.py at this point, just like this, p slash, right? Save this one. Now if I go to, you can say, my browser, click on this, you can say, posts. Now if I click on this, I'm getting the post, right? And if I go to, you can say, the search part, right, just like this, enter, and we are getting, you can see, the page, right? So it is, you can say, pretty much simple way to change. If you just change, you can say, the URL, and you are getting it, right? Okay, now let's move on to the views.py, right? At this point, now I have to fetch, you can say, the input, right? The input from the base.html, right? There is the query, right? We are just given the name as query. We have to fetch that query name, right? So that is why, you can say, the name attribute is so much important, right? So I'm going to write here, let's say, query equals to, the method is get, so right here, request dot, okay, the method is get, so right here, get, and we are just, you can say, fetching, you can see, the query. Okay, just like this, okay, and let's say, just like this, okay, and you can say, let's see, we are getting the query or not, right? So where is the post, you can say, where is the base.html, right? It is at this point, just click open that, right, and just change this has to, let's say, slash search slash. Okay, save this, go to the browser, click on, you can see this, just refresh it. Now just, you can say, just, let's say, I'm just writing anything at this point, so this much of thing, just click on this search, it should work. We are going to this point, right? Now let's see, let's see that we are getting the query or not, right? So let's just write here, let's say, print query, right? Save this, go to the browser, refresh it. Now just press Ctrl J, and okay, okay, let's click, okay, just click on this. Let's try again, something rubbish, right? Just go to the, okay, code editor, and we are getting that, right? We are getting, you can see, the query at this point, right? Okay, perfectly working. Just remove that. Okay, and now you can say, I want to actually filter, you can say, whatever the search I'm just getting, right? I have to just compare, you can say, my query with my post description, title, just like it, right? So for that we have, you can say, in Django, method or attribute called iContains, right? So let's say, just okay, I'm just fetching, let's say, the title, right? So right here, okay, we have to fetch, you can say, the title, right? So let's say I'm just writing here, title equals to post, okay, post dot objects, obviously it is an object, right? Objects dot filter, we are going to use a filter, right? Again, right? Just right here, title, give double underscore, right? And right here, iContains, just like this, okay, equals to, it will be query, just like this. Save this one. Now this is what I'm doing is, I'm just you can say, checking that my title is equal to my query or not, right? In a similar way, I will just check, you can say, my description also. So just change this one and this much of portion to DESC, right? And let's see what else we have. We just go to the models.py, and we have title, description, right? we can, you can say, use only these two, because we're not going to identify it with the slug, because it should be a unique, right? Okay, now let's go to the, what is that, search.html. Okay, now search, go to the views.py, right? Now what we're going to do is, you can say, at this point we are going to union these two, because we want to filter both the things, right? For that we have to filter these two, right? So right here, posts equals to title dot union, just right here, what is that, description, DESC, right? Now we are just going to pass this post in a context, right? Context equals to, it will be a dictionary, posts will be equals to posts. Okay, just like this, give the comma and pass the context to the HTML file, right? Right here, context. Now save this much of thing, right? Now just go to, you can say, the search.html, right? And just change this post to posts, right? Save this, go to the browser, click on this. Now let's say I want to search for Python, hit enter, let's search, and we are getting, right? Cool, we are getting our result. And now here I want to show the name of my query, whatever thing I'm just searching at this point, I want to show this at this point also. So we are also going to, you can say, just go to the views.py, and we are also going to pass this query in this context. So right here, query will be equals to query. Okay, save this. Now just go to the search.html, change, okay, just put this inside double curly braces. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and we are getting Python at this point. Pretty much cool, right? Okay, now let's see if I search at this point, let's say something, let's say Django, just like this, and I'm just getting the result, right? If I, let's say I'm searching for a, enter, and we are getting 3 results, right? Because Python, okay, this is a, we are, okay, let's say I'm just writing here, this is a, so the description contains a, here the Django contains a, and the description also contains a, and the JavaScript contains a, obviously. If I, let's say I'm just searching for this, hit enter, I'm getting this, the 4th post, right? So this is probably working. Okay, now let's say I'm just searching for, let's say, something rubbish like this, and hitting enter. You can see it is just, you can say, I'm just getting this search results for this, and we are not getting anything, right? So we should check this one also, right, that we are getting this or not, right? If this doesn't contains, so what it should do, right? So just go to the views.py, where is, you can say, the search.html, right? So before, you can say, before, at this point, right, I'm just going to add a check, right? Let's right here, if right, the posts, right, give the pipe, we are going to use another filter, that is length, right? length. If this length is, let's say, equal to 0, right? If it is 0, okay, the length of this post is 0. When, you can say, at this point, you can see the length of the post is actually 0, right? So at that point I want to show something, and when it is not 0, I want to show something else, just like this, right here, else, and just, you can say, just remove this from this point and put this at the last, right? You can say after this end block, right? And if the posts are 0, so I want to show, let's say, I just write an h1, I just remove the h1, just copy, you can say, this side, paste that, and at this point, and I'm just changing this to, let's say, no search results for, just pass the query. Save this. Now just go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, so could not phrase the remained. Okay, let's say I'm just giving, you can say, and you can say space at this point, just go to this and refresh it. We are getting, right? So remainder. So one thing we can do at this point, that is, if the length is less than 1, save this, go to browser, refresh, Okay, we are also getting, you can say, the same thing, right? So invalid block tag on 21 and block expected end if. So let's see where we are not getting the end if. So we have just done the end if at this point. Okay, it is at this point line number 21. So it is getting the, you can say, this one. Everything is working. Refresh. Invalid block tag and block expected end if. So actually, okay. We should put this end if at this point, right? Because this end block is up. Because okay, this end block is for our the block body. Just give a space, and you can say an extra line at this point, right? So just put the browser, refresh it, and we are getting no such results for this. So just give the double quotes, right? So 1, 2. Save this, put the browser, refresh it, and we're getting them. So you can say if you can say if anyone searching and something just like this and hitting enter, he is going to see this no search results for this and this, right? Okay, so we are done with this. If I click, you can say, on the post, I'm just getting the post. I can read the post. I can just go back to my posts. I can search my post. Okay, search my post just like this. Okay, this is working. Now we are going to see about the contact page, and after that we are going to see about, you can say, what is that, about that media directory that I have told you, right? So let's create the contact page, right? This one. So just go to the VS Code, right? And at this point, just right click at this point, click on the new file, right? And just write, let's say, contact.html. Okay, now at this point, just right here, extends, okay, base.html. okay, and right here let this block title, and this will be contact, right? And then I need, you can say, another block, that is a block of, okay, block of body. Okay, just like this. Just write in the H1 at this point right here, contact us. Save this. Now you can say just go to the views.py, right? Where is the contact at this point, right? So just, you can say, just remove this HTTP response and write here vendor, okay, request. It will be home/contact.html, right? Save this. Go to the, okay, just go to the okay, where is that, the yours.py. just duplicate this and just change this one, not this one, just change. We don't have to change, okay, obviously we have defined that, right? So okay, just go back, you can say at this point, just refresh the page. Template does not exist as contact. The spelling CO, okay, we have missed out the spelling, just rename it, right? Okay, it is CONTACT. okay, CONTACT. okay, go to the browser, refresh it again, and we are getting that, right? Now let's go to the bootstrap. Let's say I'm searching for components, or not components, it is at this point forms. Click on this overview, right? Here we are getting some forms. Just go below and we are getting this type of forms. So let's say I'm just copying, you can say, this form, right? So just copy this code. Okay, go to the contact.html, just remove this much of thing, create a div with a class of container. Okay, hit enter and just paste these things, right? Just select this much of thing, hit tab. Okay, click on this tab. Okay, save this, go to the browser. Where is that? At this point, just refresh, and we are getting this, right? So this is the form. Let's say I want to style this. Style equals to, let's say I want some border. Let's say, okay, a border of let's say 1 pixels, solid, has like 000, right? Save this with the browser, refresh it, and we are getting that, right? I want, let's say, some padding. Okay, I can just give, you can say, the padding, or you can say by adding a class right here. Class equals to give p dash 2, 6 browser, refresh it. Okay, make it as p dash 3 and give mt, not m, just write here m dash 5. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and we are getting the form at this point, right? So I'm just, you can say, removing this check me out, right? So where is that check at this point? Just remove this div. Okay, and now here is the email address. So just, you can say, this is the email address. You can say, inputs, just right here, name equals to email, right? And also I want to add, you can say, just okay, we also want to get, you can say, the username. Okay, so just copy this entire div. Okay, paste it at this point. Okay, change, you can say, this email address at this point to let's say user name. Okay, and then what is that, type equals to email name will be name, or not name, it will be user name, just like this. And okay, will never share your email, so I'm just changing this. Okay, we don't need this thing, right? So just remove this extra div at this, from this point. Remove this one also. Okay, save this, go to the browser, refresh it, we are getting this, right? Okay, where is our input? Just change it to text, right? And you can just add, you can say, are required after, you can say, all the inputs at this point also, right? And obviously after this point also, right here, required. Okay, save this to the browser, refresh it. Let's say just remove this one, submit, asking for, right, this, right? So username, email, password, we don't need the password, right? We want, you can say, a text, right? So just remove, just change this to text area. Name will be purpose, right? Save this to the browser, refresh it. Okay, so I want this to be, let's say, the height should be, okay, just, you can say, just decrease this to 10 and increase this to 30. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, oh, it is rows, sorry, just make it as 5. The columns will be 50. Save this, go to the browser, refresh that. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, let's say just increase this, you can say, to okay, just increase this to, let's say, 100. Save this, go to browser, refresh. Okay, make it as 200, refresh. 200 is great, right? 250, 150, and we need, you can say, just give it a style, right? At this point, style will be display will be, okay, display will be block. Save this in the browser, refresh it. Okay, we're getting this just like this. So now we can increase this much of thing to the 70. Save this in the browser. We can decrease this to, let's say, 60. Refresh. Yeah, you can just adjust that, right, if you know CSS, right? So this is not our purpose. Okay, we have just created, you can say, username, email address, purpose, right? Okay, we just need these three things, right? Now just, let's say, we are just given the name or not. So name is purpose at this point, the name is email at this point, and the name is username at this point. Okay, we have given the name. Okay, just give it you can say, okay, an action equals to, right now it will be has, right? And give it a method. okay, equals to post, right? So now we are going to use the post method. Now if you go for post method, you are going to see an error at this point if you are not, you can say, adding a CSRF token, right? Now what is a CSRF token, right? So whenever you want to, you can say, you are using the post request, Django, you can say, ask you to verify a CSRF token, right? So for that, just write here a CSRF token. Just save this much of thing you have to do as a beginner, right? So after doing this, it will work, right? Now after adding the CSRF token, we are just going to the models.py, and now we are going to create the tables for the contact page, right? So right here class, okay, right here contact, it will be models dot model, right? And just so it will contain, you can say, user name, okay, username equals to models dot char field, and it will be max length, max underscore length, right? Max underscore length of, let's say, 100, and it will contain, you can say, the email address right here, email equals to models dot let's say char field, and just make it as, let's say, 500, or 500 will be too lengthy, right? Make it as 250, obviously, right? Because no one is having such okay, so much lengthy, you can say, email addresses, right? And then just write, okay, it will be max length 250, right? So right here max underscore length equals to 250, right? And at this point we're just going to, you can say, add the purpose right here. Purpose will be equals to models dot text field, right? It will be obviously a text field, right? Just like this. Save this much of thing. Now just add this much of thing to this one also. Change this title to username. Save. Okay. Now you can say we are just going to migrate this, right? So just open the terminal, press Ctrl C, just kill the terminal from this point. Ctrl J, CD, into the block CLS, right? So just right here python manage.py, make migrations. Okay, migrations, hit enter, right? Okay, now one thing we are going to forget at this point, that is we have to, you can say, before migrating this, right, we have to register our, you can say, model, right? So just open the admin.py. okay, at this point just right here contact, and just import the contact from this point. Save this. Okay, now just migrate this, right? Just right here migrate, hit enter, and it should work. Obviously it has worked. Not on the server, right? Okay, just on the server, hit enter. Just Control J. Just go to the browser, you can just go to the database, just refresh it, and we are getting the context at this point. Right now we are going to create some context. So before, let's say, just go to the VS Code at this point, just go to the views.py, and at this point we are just going to fetch, you can say, those inputs, right? So for that I'm going to write here, let's say that is if I'm going to check if the method is post or not. If request dot method is equals to, that is post, okay, then what I want to do is just put this post in double curly braces. Okay, not double curly braces, okay, it is double curly, not curly braces, it is quotes. Oh, what is happening to me? Okay, now what I want to do is at this point right here user name equals to request dot post, and just write here username, just like this. Now replicate this 2 more times. Just remove this and write here email, and just remove this right here, that is purpose, right? Just change this thing to email and this thing to purpose. Save this. Now just put this thing and this thing inside the quotes, right? Or it will just going to give you an error, right? Okay, now we have fetched those things, right? Now let's see if we are getting that or not, right? So when we want to just print at this point, okay, just print the username comma email comma purpose. Save this for the browser. Now just go to your website, just refresh your contact page at this point. Okay, just go to the contact page at this point and right here /contact/ okay, save this. Go to the browser, refresh it. Now just write in something at this point, something at this point, and something at this point. Now click on the submit. Okay, it is an email address, right? So let's say test1@gmail.com. Submit this. Go to the VS Code, hit Control J, and let's see. We print those things and we are not getting, right? So let's see what is. Okay, it is POST, right? Okay, just right here POST. It should be in capital letters. Save this. Go to the browser again. Just refresh it. Put the things. Okay, go back. Click on this. Okay, test1. Anything. Submit. And we are getting that, right? You can see at this point, this one. Okay. Now after this, you can say I want to fetch. You can say my models, right? So I just write here inside this, just remove this one right here, contact. Okay, contact equals to contact dot objects. Okay, we have to import the contact, right? So just give a comma right here, contact, right? So this should be contact dot objects dot all, right? Okay, now after that, just write here let's see, okay, where just you can say equate the things, right? So let's say I'm just writing here contacts equals to contact, just like this. Give the curly, just give the parenthesis, and write here user name equals to user name. Give the comma right here. Email equals to email. Give the comma right here. Purpose equals to purpose, just like this. Now right here contacts dot save, just like this. So make sure you are just saving. You can see your contact, right? Save this. Now just go to the your browser. Go to the browser. Go to the website. Just refresh it. Okay. Let's say I'm just writing here. Let's say John. Let's say test1@gmail.com. Something just like this. Submit this. Okay, query set object is not callable. Okay, what's going to be wrong with this? Okay, let's see. Okay, one thing we have done wrong at this point. Just go back to the VS Code. Okay, this we do not need this, right? Just remove this one. Save this. Go to the browser, refresh it, hit enter, and just go back, refresh. Right here, John test1@gmail.com. Something, submit. Okay, type error again. Contact got an unexpected keyword argument. User name. This contact. Okay, make this capital C, right? Save this. Go to the browser, refresh, Just refresh this one also. Okay, now let's try. Just right here, John test1 at gmail.com, something rubbish. Submit, go to the database, refresh, and we are getting the contact successfully, right? So we got this. If I click on this John, you can say just getting, you can see the username, the email, the purpose. If you want, you can just fetch the phone number in the similar way, right? So it is a task for you, right? Okay, so finally we have created, you can see the username. Let's create more. Let's say I'm just creating, let's say let's say Bruce, right? Test2 at gmail.com, something just like this. Submit, go to the database, click on the contacts, and we are getting Bruce, just like this. So it is working finally, right? Now we need to go for some checking, right? Because if the, you can say what happens, okay, the username may be same, so this should be username. Okay, we can just change this username, right? We can just make it as just leave it, just make it as full, okay, full name, anything you want, right? But the email address should be unique, right? So we have to check, you can say the email address, but okay, let me think. Okay, the username should be unique, right? This should be unique, so we have to check that. Okay, after creating, you can say the login and sign in system, we are going to check if this username exists, if this email exists in the database, okay, in the, you can say in this point, and then we are going to, you can say fetch this, right? So we are going to see that later on, right? So finally we are, our, you can see the contact page is also running, right? Now I want to discuss about, you can say the media directory. Now what are this media directory means? So what do you mean by the media directory, right? So media directory means, let me just tell you, right? Just give you an example. Just go to the post page, right? And here you are going to see this, okay, this images, right? So these images are actually coming from the, okay, the link, right? Okay, from this link, right? We are getting this, those images from using this link, right? But what if I want, you can say, an image from my own directory which is present, you can say, on my desktop or in many of the folder, right? So for that we can use the image field. Okay, so we are going to use the image field. For that we need the media directory. Okay, so for that just go to the VS Code, right? And at this point just go to the settings.py, just open this block, go to the settings.py file, right? And you can say at this point add a comment and just writing, let's say media dirs, just like this. Okay, now here we have to define two things. One is media underscore root and one is media URL, right? So right here media underscore root, right, equals to, okay, right here os.path.join, okay, join, okay, right here base dir, give the comma, and right here media, right? Okay, just give the quotes at this point, just like this. So it is pretty much similar, you can say, to the static root, right? Okay, now after this we are going to have our media URL, right? So just right here media, okay, media underscore URL, okay, URL equals to, give the quotes and right here slash media slash, just like this. Save this. So this is actually, you can say, similar to the static directory path, right? We are just defining the path of our media directory. This is pretty much simple, right? Now we have to do one more thing in our urls.py, right? So open the urls.py of the project folder, right? Open the, okay, just open, you can say, the urls.py of the project folder, not the, you can say, the app folder, right? Okay, so this is the project that is blocked, right? And at this point you can say we are just defining the media, right? So right here plus Okay, right here plus, just remove this equal to, plus we're just appending that, right? Static, okay, give, you can say, the parenthesis right here, settings. But before that, before to use this, we have to import the settings, right? So right here from Django, okay, Django dot conf, okay, dot urls, okay, urls, okay, right here dot static, right, dot static, just right here, import static. And one more thing we have to import, that is the settings, right? So right here from Django, right, dot conf, okay, Django dot conf, import, that is the settings, right, just like this. Okay, okay, now save this. Now at this one we can use these settings, right? So right here settings, dot media, okay, media underscore url, right, url, give the comma, right here document underscore root equals to settings dot media underscore root, just like this. Now save this much of thing. Now you can use the media directory. Okay, so we are going to use this media directory, okay, for the image field, right? So where we are going to find the image field? Obviously in the models, right? So just close this one, here's the models.py, just open this models.py, right? So you can say after this image, you are just, I'm just not commenting that outright, not removing that, right? I want to show you the media directory. For that reason I'm just using it, right? So right here, let's say, but you should use a single one, right? If you want to use, you can use image URL, or you can use the image field, or if you want to use both, you can use both, right? So right here image, okay, image, image underscore, let's say, just remove this underscore, and simply image equals to, it will be models dot, it will be models dot image field, right? And right here upload, okay, upload, I think up underscore load, I hope so, upload equals to, and it is actually, I say up underscore to upload to, just remove this underscore from this point, just from this point, right? It is upload underscore to equals to, it will be, let's say, it will be home slash media, right? Just put this home slash media address inside, you can see the codes, right? So just like this. Okay, now it will be upload to home, okay, or it is not home slash media, it is media slash images. I hope this time this like this, right? So right here upload to media slash images, right? So it will just create, you can say, a media directory inside, you can say, our base directory, which is, you can say, this this one, right? This is the base directory. Inside this directory it will create a media directory, right? And inside the media directory we are going to have, you can say, an images folder. Inside this images folder we can have our images, right? Okay, that's fine. Now just save this. Okay, just press hit Ctrl J, and you are going to find, you can see, this error, right? So it's actually, you can see this hint, just you can see if we install the pillow, just copy this one, right? Press Ctrl C, CLS, okay, just paste that command, hit enter, and just wait for some time that it will be installed to your virtual environment, right? Okay, finally the package has been installed, right? So just hit CLS, just run the server again, not server, right? We have to just make the migrations right now, right? So right here py manage.py make migrations, right? But before the making the migration, just give the default to this, because to our, you can say, the remaining 5 or 6 posts we do not have this field, right? So I give the default, okay, default, okay, it is default, or it doesn't contain default. Just try to give default equals to blank, just like this. Save this. Now let's just hit enter at this point. Okay, now we're going to, you can say, make the migration command, right? So right here make migration, then right here migrate, hit enter. Okay, successfully migrated. Just run the server, right? Hit enter. Just go to your browser. Okay, now just go to your database, refresh it, go to the post, right? Go to the post, and let's say I'm clicking on this Django, and here you're going to find this image field. Click on this choose file, right? And you can say choose the images from this one, right? So just, you can say, go to let's say, just going, where is that, to my static directory, which is present in my desktop. Click on this Django In One video, click on this blog, go to the static file, click on this images. Let's say I'm just clicking on this image, right? Click on this open. Now at this point you can find this image, right? Now, okay, click on this, okay, now just hit save, right? And after saving this, just open, you can see this one again, and just click on this, right? And you can see at this point, at this, you can say, at this URL, my image is actually present. So if I ever now go to the VS Code, right, and at this point you are going to find this, you can see a media directory has been automatically created. Inside this media query, okay, media directory, we are having another media directory which is having these images, right? So this image, right? Hit Control J, and you are going to find this image, right? So this is how it works, right? Now if I don't want, you can say, just make it simple. If I don't want, you can say, this media at this point, I just want to remove that. So why is that? Go to just remove this media from this point, right? Just simply images, right? Now just make the, just press Ctrl C. Okay, just right here make migrations, right here migrate. Just on the server again, press Ctrl J, go to the browser. Okay, now go back. Okay, now click on this again, click on this. Now save this one. Okay, now if I click on this Django right now, and if I click on this, now you are going to see, you can see this, right? This link, this URL, media/images/ the image name, right? Whatever it is, right? So it is pretty much, you can say, simple, right? So now let's say if I want to fetch this image on my, okay, on my home page, let's say. So what I can do is just go to the VS Code, go to the base.html, or let's say go to the index.html. So where is that templates folder, home, just go to the index.html, right? Let's say at the bottom, right, you can say after this div I was creating another div, right? Let's say dot container, and inside this I just want to have this image, right? So let's simply writing an img tag. Source will be for that I will be I need, you can say, or the post. So okay, let's remove this one. Let's try. Okay, let's see. Just go to views.py, and let's see if we are having, you can say, okay, we are not having that. Let's see where we are having that one. Okay, we are having that in the post equals to post.objects.all. So because I want to fetch that from my post, right? So I don't want, you can say, just add this again here at this point, right? So just open, you can see the post page, post.html, right? This one, and at this, okay, at the end of this div, right, just right here dot container, right? Inside this I'm just having an ing tag, okay, and it will contain, you can say, that image. So let's say it is, let's say, post dot zero, right? It is post or posts, let's see, for I input, okay, is posted post dot zero, right? Dot I want to have, you can say, the image, right? So right here source will be post dot zero dot image, right? Give a slash at this point and just write here media slash. I hope so this will work. Let's go to the okay, just go to the post page. Okay, we are not getting, you can say, the image, and just put, you can say, this one inside the double curly braces, just like this. Now it will work. Okay, just refresh the page and let's see, we are having, you can see, we got the image, right? So just try to make it as, let's say, dash fluid, and just, you can say, just adding, you can say, it style or width equals to 100%, okay, and height equals to, let's say, height equals to, let's say, 60 vh, right? Save this to the browser, refresh it, and let's see we are getting it or not. The image is too big, right? Okay, I just remove this equal to and just this equal to and just give the color, okay. Okay, apologies, right? So just refresh. Okay, 10% is quite small, make it as 100%. Save this in the browser, refresh. Okay, and hopefully we're getting that, right? So you can see we just got the image, right? So my point is, you can just fetch the images. If you want, you can say show this, you can say show the images of this post using, you can say, the media that you can do that. You can just go to the VS Code and you have to just change, you can see, this one right here, only simply image, and this will replace, just right here, media, just right here at this point, right here, slash media slash, and just remove this URL from this point and it will give you the image, right? But and don't forget to give a slash at this point. So this will just, this syntax will give you the image, right? But I'm not going to do that because that will be, you can say, too weird, because we don't have the, you can say, the media or, you can say, the images in our other post, right? If you go to, you can say, this one, and if you just click on this post, click on this Python, you can say, we don't have this, right? We do not have this image field, so we have to just fill up all of this, right? So I'm not going to do that, right? You can, if you want, you can just do that, right? So just, I'm just removing, you can see, this one. So I'm just commenting that out, just like this. Okay, refresh the page and hopefully it is gone, right? Okay, so I hope so that you have understood about the media directory, right? So now it's time for, you can say, the create, you can say, the login and sign up page, right? So just go to the, you can say, this one. So click on this components, click on these buttons. So let's say I'm just copying this button, copy this, go to the VS Code, just open, you can say, the base.html, right? Okay, now at this point just replicate this form 2 more times, right? Just remove, you can see, this input text from this point and this input tag from this point, right? And just remove this search, just make it as has, and this one also has, right? And just remove this extra line from this point also. We're just going to create, you can say, the login sign up form, right? So I'm just going to write here login, or let's say writing here, let's say not login, right here sign up, okay, and make this as login, just like this. Okay, save this. Now go to the browser. At this point, just come to this point, just refresh it. Okay, and we are getting these 2 images, right? These 2 buttons. So what I want is just remove this outline and this outline from this point. Okay, just remove this and just make this success to, let's say, warning, and to this one to, let's say, primary. Save this for the browser, refresh it, and you're going to find this, you can say, these two buttons, right? And I want, you can say, some spacing between them, so just give this mx, right, of 2, and this one also, not this one, you can just give this to this one also, so this will be mx of 2. Save it to the browser, refresh, and we are getting, you can say, the spacing between them, right? So now let's see, when I click on this, I want to go to the login page, right? Now just go back to the VS Code, right? And at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new HTML file, right? And just naming it as, let's say, first we're going to create the sign up page, right? So let's say sign up.html, right? Hit enter. So here what I'm going to do is just extend base.html, right? And just giving it a title, let's say let's type here block, right? Title, which will be, let's say, sign up, right? Okay, SIGN UP, sign up. And another tag we are going to add is the block and a body, right? Block body. Okay, it is block body, right? Just click at this point, save this, and I can each one of SIGN UP, sign up. So we are going to create the URL, right? So just close this URL. We need, you can say, the urls.py of our app, right? So just open that, and at this point what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just change this to login, okay, and this two and this two also login. But before, okay, it is not login, it is sign up, right? So we are going to create the sign up, so just make it as sign up, right? Now just go to the views.py, right? So go to the last, and at this point I'm going to create a function naming it as sign up. It will accept request, right? And what it is going to do, it is going to return, okay, return render, okay, okay, render request. It will be home, it is home slash, okay, home slash signup.html. Save this, right? Now just go to the browser at this point. Let's see, just remove this post right here, SIGN sign up, right? Hit enter, and successfully we are getting sign up. So let's just go to the base.html. So where it is at this point, and just change, where is it, the form, where is the form? Okay, so okay, this should not be a form, this should be actually an anchor tag. So this is my bad, just change this form, this form, this form, and this form to an anchor tag, right? And just remove these action tags, right? Instead of this, just write here href equals to has, just like this. Save this, and what we're going to do is just write here slash login, not login, this slash sign up, okay, slash, okay, save this. Now just go to the browser, click on this, let's say I'm just clicking on this, I'm getting it, right? So I'm just getting the page, it's walking, right? Now let's go to the where is that, sign up.html, and put this inside a container div. So right here container, okay, just paste this point, save this, go to the browser, refresh that, right? And what I'm going to do is just write here class equals to text dash center. Save this with the browser, refresh it, and boom, you can see it's at the center. So I'm just going to add, you can say let's say some padding of 2. So this will browser, refresh, and we're getting it, right? Okay, now at this point I want to show the form. Just go to the bootstrap, just click on these examples, right? Where is that? Click on this. You can see you're going to find this, right? Just click on this and you can see this. So it looks quite beautiful, right? So just right click at this point, click on this inspect. So you can see we have the form just like this. So it is form sign up, right? So at this point, just right click at this point, click on this where is the view page source, right? And that's fine. Where it is, where is the, okay, at this point. So just copy these things, main, everything, Control C. Now just go to the browser, okay, not to the browser, go to the VS Code, and at this point just paste that out, right? Select this much of thing, press tab, just press tab again, right? Just like this. Save this to the browser. Okay, where is the browser at this point? So where is the website at this point? Just refresh the page and we are getting this form. We are not getting these things, but we don't need this thing, so just remove, you can say this icon from this. If you go to the browser, refresh that, right? And we are getting these things, right? So please sign in, just remove that one also. Browser, refresh, and we are getting this form, right? Now I want, you can say, just centralize everything. So where is the container? Just copy this thing, right, and paste that inside this at this point. Save this, the browser, refresh, and everything we are getting at the center, right? Now we don't need this at this point, so just remove this one also, refresh, and everything is centralized, right? Now what I want is just I want to shrink its size. So just give the style to this sty a style equals to right here width, okay, width of, let's say, 50%, right? Save this with the browser, refresh it, and we are getting this just like this, right? So just give it a margin, okay, margin of 0, right here, auto. Save this with the browser, refresh that, and we are getting that to the center, right? So this is just CSS, right? If you know CSS, you can do this, right? Okay, now just give it a border of let's say 2 pixels solid black, and I want some margin. So I just need the margin. I'm just going to give the margin to this one, right? So right here, m-5, save this with the browser, refresh, and we are getting this, right? So I want some padding, right? So I can just give the padding, you can say, to this one. So right here, padding of let's say 30 pixels. Save this to the browser, refresh it, and we are just getting this just like this, right? So if you want, you can just make this was that just 1 pixel, just change this to 2 pixels to 1 pixel, right? So just refresh it, and it looks clean, right? At least clean. So now what I want to just remove this remember me. So I'm just going to remove, you can say, this level, right? Save this to the browser, refresh. Okay, it has been removed, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can say, add, you can say, some more fields at this point. So tab, okay, just press tab. Okay, now I'm just going to replicate this thing, 1 2 3. Okay, the first one will be let's say it will be first name, so just type will be text, right? And the placeholder will be first name. Save this. Now just change, you can say this level to name, first name, right? First name. Now just change this email to text and change this placeholder to last name, right? I'm just going to copy this one, paste that at this point, just like this. Save this. Now this will be email, obviously. Now after the email, what I want is I want to get the username, right? So just make this okay, this change this to username 1, right? Just make it a username 1 and just remove these things right here. Create a username, right? And then what I want is just change this one and right here username. Save this, right? Just make this US capital and just that. And what we want is we want to also confirm the password, right? We want to confirm the password, so just duplicate this one, right? Make this as password 1, right? Okay, type will be password, right? Just okay, we have to add the name, so this will be password and this will be password and this will be okay, confirm password right here, confirm password. Go to the browser, refresh it, and we are getting these fields. So I need some spacing between the fields, right? So just select this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one, and right here m dash, okay, my dash 1. Save this to the browser, refresh, and we are getting some spacing, right? Just increase that to 2, let's say, refresh, and we are getting, you can say, the spacing, right? So here we are going to get the first name, the last name, the username, the email address, the password, and you can say the confirm password, obviously. Now just give the name to this, right? So I'm just going to give the name equals to, just like this. Okay, just going to give the name equals to let's say f underscore name, right? So just copy this one, paste that, change this to f to l name, like that will be last name. And okay, type will be, obviously this will be, you can say, text, and the name will be username 1, right? Now just at this point right here, name equals to, right here, this is actually the email address right here, email 1, right? Now right here, name equals to pass 1, right? And just give the name to this also, name equals to pass 2. So I hope you can see it clearly, right? So I'm just given the name to the first name, this will be f name, this will be l name, this will be username 1, this will be email 1, this is password, this is password. Save this one, go to the browser, refresh it, and everything is okay, right? Now at this point I'm going to write here action equals to, it will be slash sign up slash, right? And I'm just going to give it a method equals to, it will be a method of post, right? So we have to you can say give the CSRF token. Just verify this, right? So just give the CSRF token at this point. Now go to the views.py and just first import the user, right? So now we are going to use the user models. So right here from Django dot contrib dot auth, okay, dot models, right? So I'm just fetching the models, you can say, of the default authentication models, right? So right here import, we're going to import the user, right? Save this. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check if request dot method equals to post, then I'm going to fetch the things. Let's say this will be app underscore name equals to request dot post, it will be app underscore name, right? So just replicate this one, just change this F to L and this to L, right? Just change this to username 1 and just make this as username 1, right? Change this to email 1, this to email 1, just like that. So we're getting the first name, last name, username, email, then we need the two passwords, right? So this will be pass1 and this will be pass2, this will be pass1 and this will be pass2. Save this. So we are getting, you can say, these things, right? Now what we are going to do is we're just going to, you can say, first confirm the password, that both the passwords should be same. So I'm going to write here if pass1 is equals to pass2, right? Then what I want is I want to create the user, right? So just right here, let's say user equals to user dot objects, right? Okay, it will be user dot objects dot create, okay, create I hope so, it is create underscore user, right? And inside this, what I'm going to do is just going to pass, you can see, the three things, that is the username 1 comma email 1 comma the pass1, right? And I'm going to set, you can say, the first name and last name also. So to do that, I'm going to write here user dot first underscore name, right, will be equals to f underscore name, and this will be last underscore name, this will be L name. Save this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save my user. So right here user dot save this, just like this, right? So in this way we can just create the user. Okay, just remove this extra e which is coming at this points. Okay, just remove these things, save this. Now hopefully everything is correct, right? Now let's see if we are getting the user or not, right? So what I'm going to do is at this point I'm just going to the signup.html and going to see everything is okay or not. Everything is fine, right? Now just go to the website, just refresh it. Let's say I'm just writing here, let's say Jane, let's say Doe, this will be, let's say Jane Doe 123, email address, let's say test1. okay, it is email address, so let's see the type of that. So this is email address and it is obviously email, right? Okay, test2 @gmail.com. okay, and let's see 1234, and let's see 1234. just click on this sign in, and we are not getting any type of errors. So just go to the database, refresh it, click on this users, and we are getting, you can say, the user Django. You can find this username, you can see this email, and this is the first name, the last name, right? If you want to click on this, you're going to see all these things, right? So this is working, right? So finally we are done with the sign up page. We are getting, you can say, the what you can say, there are the, you can say, the users, right? We can just create the users. Now what I want is, after, you can say, successfully creating, you can say, these users, I want to redirect them to my login page. So for that we are going to first create the login page, right? So just go back to the VS Code. Okay, just copy everything of this page, right? And at this point just create a new file and name it as login.html, right? Hit enter, just paste everything at this point, save this, and I'm just going to remove, you can say, the confirm password part. I'm just going to remove where is that, this is password, this is email, this is username. So I'm just going to remove, you can say, these things, the first name, last name, everything, right? So pretty much simple. Okay, okay, it's fine, right? And what I want to do is, at this point, just make this username to username _1. So I'm just making, you can say, the name as unique, right? Because that will avoid some confusions, right? And just give underscore at this point also, and that's much. Save this, go to, you can say, the views.py, just copy, you can say, this much of thing, right? Just make it as login, and what I want is, just, you can say, simply render login.html. go to the where is that, urls.py. so click on this, duplicate this, change this and this to login. Okay, login, save this, go to the browser, at this point search for login, hit enter, and we are getting this, right? Awesome. Now what I want is, just go to the base.html, at this point right here, /login/ save this. If I click on this, it will redirect me to the login page. Okay, just refresh it, click on this, and you click on this. Okay, it's working, right? We are redirecting to the login page, right? Okay, just change this sign up to login. So just go to the login.html. Where is that? Just change this to login, just like this. Save this, and just change this one to login. Save this to browser and refresh. We are getting that, right? Now we are going to see how can we just, you can say, get logged into this part. So what I'm going to do is, just going to, you can say, the views.py. At this point I'm going to do the same, just copy this line. I'm going to check the method first, right? If it is post, I'm just going to fetch the three things, that is username, email, and password. Just copy these things, paste it at this point, right? Give the underscore to this one, this one, this one, and this one, just like this. And then what we are going to do is, we are going to authenticate the username, everything, right? So right here user equals to auth. Now we have to, you can say, import the auth also. So at this point we are going to just give right here auth. Simply come to this point and right here auth dot authenticate, right? So make sure you are just writing the correct spelling, that is AUTH authenticate, right? Authenticate. We're going to authenticate the username. So user name equals to username underscore one with the comma right here. Email equals to email underscore one with the comma right here. Password password equals to pass underscore one, just like this. Save this. Now actually we are authenticating the username, email and password, right? And then we're going to check, click on this. We're going to check if user is not none. This means if there is user, right? If there is user, then we are going to log in, right? So right here auth dot login, right? And it will accept the request, right? And the user, these two parameters it is going to accept. And then we are going to redirect the, you can say, user to the what is that? We're going to redirect the user to the home page. So right here return redirect. Save this. Now just go to the browser at this point, just refresh it, right? Let's say just what is the, let's say Jane, right here Jane Doe 123. Email address is test2@gmail.com. I hope so. And the password is 1234. Sign in. And app name at sign up. Okay, what is going to be wrong with this? So there's nothing wrong. Just what we're going to do is okay, so what we can do is we can just remove this email, right? So give the comma, go to the login.html, just remove this email field, right? So we are not going to use this email field, right? We are just going to use this authenticate using username and password, because the username is going to be unique, right? So just refresh it and just right here let's say Jane Doe 123, password is 1234. Sign in is not sign in, I also log in. Okay, we are getting the error because we have to change one thing. So just make sure it's changing this sign up to login, right? And just change this to also login. Save this. Okay, just make this login. Save the browser, refresh, hit enter, go back, refresh, just reload the page. Right here Jane Doe 123, password will be 1234, login, and it is again showing email underscore one multi key. Okay, so let's see where is the reviews.py. And okay, so just remove this, save this, go browser, go back. Now right here 1234, just reload the page again, right? And just right here Jane Doe 123 1234, login, and we are successfully logged in. You can say we have finally redirected, you can say, to our home page. This means we are successfully logged in, right? So let me just explain you what we have done till now. So I'm just starting from the sign in, then we are going to the login, right? So first we have, you can say, created the signup.html, right? We are using, you can just we have created the forms and just given the name to the input text, right? So the first there is the, you can say, the f name, the l name, the username one, the email address, there is a email one, this pass one, pass two, right? Then what, then go to the views.py, and at this point we have just created, you can say, a function, and at this point we have written, you can say, the signup.html page, right? And at this point we have checked if the method that we are getting is post or not. If it is post, then it will just come inside, and at this point it's going to check, or you can say going to fetch, right? It's going to fetch the first name, the last name, the username, the email address, the two passwords, right? And after that what I'm going to do is I'm just checking the first password is equals to the second password. This means the password is equals to the confirm password. If it is, then we are, you can say, entering into this part, and we are just going to create the user, right? And just we are going to pass the username, the email address, and the password, right? And after that, you can say, just setting the the first name of the user, the last name of the user, to f name and l name. And after that, I'm just going to successfully saving the user, right? Okay, and in the urls.py we have created, you can see, this path. So this is pretty much simple, right? Now in the login part, we have just created a login.html. We have created the same, you can say, the forms, and we have just given the unique names to them. Then we have the fetch, you can say, we're going to fetch the okay, the names, right? At this point pretty much the same thing. And then at this point I have, you can say, authenticated. This means I have just logged in, right? I have just checked that is the username is equals to username one and the pass equals to pass one. This means the existing username which is present in my database. Let's say in my database I have, let's say, 3 to 4 users, let's say. So if any one of the username gets matched with this and any one of the password gets matched with this, then it is going to authenticate my user. That is, this is the user, okay, the user is correct, right? And then what is going to do is, if user is not none, this means if the user exists, if there is the user, then it is going to log in, right? So we are just going to use this auth, right? Just right here, auth.login. I'm going to pass the request which is coming, you can say, from the website, right? And then we're going to pass the user to this, and after that we are simply redirecting our user to the home page. This is pretty much simple, right? Okay, now we are going to do some checks, right? So while we are going to do the checks, I'm going to introduce you about the concept of messages. How can you show messages, different types of messages? Let's say you can say at your contact page, okay, you can say at your sign up page, at your login page, right? And let's say, okay, just go to the contact page, and this is pretty much simple. So let's add an h1 tag, right? So go to the contact page. You can say at this point I'm going to add, you can say, h1 tag, give it a class, okay, of, let's say, text dash center, right? And right here, contact us. Save, go to the browser, refresh it, and we're getting this. Just give, you can say, a p-5 or p-5 p-3. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and we're getting this, right? So we are done with almost everything. Actually, if you say, in one way our website has been completely completed, right? Now, but there is only one topic left, that is, you can say, the messages. So you should know about the messages as a beginner, right? So let's see what are messages, right? Now we are going to talk about the messages, right? Now you might be thinking, what are messages, right? Why do we need messages, right? So just go, let's do it directly, right? Your doubt will be clear. So let's go back to the VS Code. Okay, now just go to the views.py. Just go to, you can say, the top, and just import from Django contrib. I want to import messages, right? Save this. Okay, now let me tell you, just go to the, you can see your website, and at this point, let's say if anyone tries to submit this form and that username is not there in my database, right? And let's say similarly, if the email is not in my database, then I should not accept, you can say, the submit request, or you can say this contact form. And one more thing we are going to fix, that is this password to purpose, right? So at this point, where is that? Just change this to purpose. Save that, right? Okay, refresh it. Got that, right? Now for that we are going to check something, right? And let's say if anyone tries to submit this form using some unknown username, okay, unknown means which is not present in our database, right? So in that case, I want to show, you can say, an alert message at this point, right? So for doing that, first go to the VS Code, right? Go to the views.py, and here we have the contact, right? So you can say at this point we are saving the contact. So before saving the contact, I want to check something, right? First I want to check, you can say, if user, okay, user dot objects dot filter, right? Basically I'm just filtering, you can say, the particular, you can say, the username, right? So I'm just filtering out the username, right, from the database, right, from the models, right? So what I'm doing is, from the users model, I'm just filtering out the username, right? So I'm just checking that the user name is equals to user name, right? And I want to check this if it exists or not, right? So I'm just going right here, dot exists, okay, exists, right? Just like this. Then what I want to do, I want to do something. Let's say, right, I'm just writing here pass, and similarly I want to check, you can say, the email. So just change this username and this one to email, right? And if both, you can say, are not present, so for that, just copy it one more time, right? And where is that? And just, you can say, copy this line, right? And at this point, right here, and just paste that thing, right? So this means, you can say, I'm just checking, so in this case I'm just checking, you can say, if the user dot, you can say, the user email and username is there in the database or not, right? So let's say if the username already exists, right, or you can say, then you can say, I want to save this thing, right? Okay, 1 minute. If the user, okay, I want to save this thing only if the username and the email exists. So just press the tab and just bring these two things inside, you can say, this if statement, right? So just remove this pass from right now, right, from this point. So this means if the email and the username exists, okay, then it will, you can say, accept or save the contact, right? But what if it doesn't exist, right? Let's say if the user.objects.filter.username.exist, right? So you're writing here not, right? If this is if this does not exist, then what I want to show is, I want to, you can say, show a message, right? So just right here, messages dot, you can say, let's say I want to show a message of a warning, let's say, right? And inside this, what I want to do is, I want to, you can say, accept the request, right? Okay, and I want to, you can say, display the message. So just write here, just put the double quotes and just write what you want to, okay, pop up on the screen. So let's say I want to say user does, does not exist, just like this, right? User does not exist, and I want to show this similar message at this point also. If the if this email does not exist, then I want to show this the user does not exist, right? Save this. Now if both of them does not exist, right? So what you can say is right here, if just you can say copy this much of thing, paste that, and right here not, and right here not, just like this. If not user is this exists or this doesn't exist, right? So what I want to do is, okay, at this point, because this point I want to show the same message, just like this. Okay, so if you want, you can just write here email does not exist, right here, okay, email, right? This means email does not exist, right? So these are the things which I want to show, right? And I'm not going to save, you can say, the contact form. Okay, so you can say at this point, after you can saving the contact, I want to also show some message. So just copy this line, right? Paste this and just change this warning to success, right? And right here contact success fully submitted, right? Save this. Okay, now I want to show this message, right? So let's go to the browser at this point and let's just close this thing, right? We don't need this anymore, right? Just close this thing and this one also. At this point I'm just going to search for Django messages, hit enter, and right here messages templates, hit enter, click on this, right? So just go down. So this is what we have just seen right now, right? So this is, you can say, the syntax. I just copy the syntax, right? Just you can say go to the contact.html and above this div at this point paste that, right? Just like this. So if I go to, you can say, this point, and let's say I'm just writing something like just like this, let's say just like this, and tries to submit, you can see this user does not exist. So we are getting, you can say, that this 2 times because of the if statements, right? Because both are running out, right? The email also does not exist, and okay, this one is also right. So what we're going to do is just take this to the top, right? Just like this, and just make this as elif, this one to elif, right? And that's pretty much the same, right? Now save this. Now if I go to this point, now write something just like this, let's just like this, something like this, submit, and we are getting this only 1 time, right? Now this does not look, you can say, beautiful, so just go to the bootstrap. Okay, where is the bootstrap? This one. Go to, you can say, the where's the components, click on this alerts, and you can just choose any one of them. So let's say I'm just, you can say, copying this one, right? Go to the contact.html, and just after this I'm just pasting that, right? Just like this. And what I'm going to do is just select this much of thing, hit tab, right? Now I want to show the messages at this point, so just copy these messages from this point, okay, paste that at this point, save this, and okay, I don't want to show this type of, you can say, alert. I want to show disposable alerts so that my user can dispose them, right? Just quit, you can say that thing. So I want this type of, you can say, alerts, right? So just copy this code, just paste it at this point. Okay, so tab, and just like this. Okay, so just remove, you can say, this strong, and write here a p tag, or you can say an h3 tag, and just write here message, just like this, right? So I want to display the message at this point, right? Save this. Now I want to, you can say, also to choose this one, right? I want also to put this one, right? So what I'm going to do with this is at this point just copy this much of thing. Okay, just remove this right tag and just remove this class and paste this one. Save this. So what I'm going to do is, okay, just press Ctrl Z. Don't remove, you can say, that class. Instead, after this class, just paste that, and whatever the thing is inside this one, just copy, and where is that? Paste that after this, just like this, and just remove this class. Save this. Now let me explain you what we have done, right? So actually, you can say I'm just using the for loop and just getting, you can say, the message, right? And okay, what does this mean, right? If messages dot tag, right, message dot text, if you can see the message contain any type of text. So what are the text actually? If you go to the views.py, here you're going to find this success, the warning. So these are actually, you can say, the text. So basically I'm just fetching this text so that you can say I can put, you can say, the tag, you can say, that is the warning or whatever the thing at this point, so that the color will change accordingly, right? Because if you go to the bootstrap, right, just go, okay, just come to this point. So this is, you can see, this is primary, this is success, this is warning, this is an error, okay, or danger, right? Just like that. So just go back to the VS Code. So this is the pretty much the same thing. Save this one. Now go to, you can see, the browser. So go to the, you can see, your website. At this point, just refresh it. Okay, just click on this. So let's say I'm writing here something like this, just like this. Okay, at the rate xyz.in, just like that, and something just like this. Submit. Now you are going to get this user does not exist, right? Now what I want is, I want to put, you can say, this if statement inside, you can say, a container, right? So, or you can just at this point write here m-0 p-0. Save this to the browser, refresh it. Okay, it's done, right? Now if I click, you can see at this point it vanishes, right? If I write like again just like this, just like this, submit, user does not exist, right? If I write here, let's say Jane Doe 123, and let's say test3 that is gmail.com, and something just like this, and if I click on the submit, okay, so it has been submitted. So just let's say click on this contacts. Okay, we have John, not Jane, so sorry. So where it's not giving us the error. So if I click on this users, so we have Jane Doe, right? We have Jane Doe. So it's not giving the error. Let's see, let's try again. So I'm writing here, let's say Jane Doe 123, right? Let's see the username, Jane Doe 123, right? And the email, let's say this one, or let's say something like this, @gmail.com, and something like this. Click on the submit, and we are not getting anything. So let's see what is going to be wrong with that. so we are not getting, you can say, the message, that is the warning. So where we are not getting that, so just go to the views.py. So at this point, if okay this point, so we'll just bring this to this point, right? And I'm going to change this as elif and this too as if, just like this. Now save this one, right? Okay, bring this to down, just like this. Save this and go to the browser. Let's try again. Django 123 email, let's say this one, submit, like this, submit. We just refresh the page and let's try it again. Django email address, let's say this one, just like this, submit. We are not getting that because we have to put, you can say, the not at this point, right, which we have forgotten, right? So just put the not at this point. Now let's try it again. Django 123 email address, this one, like this, submit, and email does not exist. So finally we are getting this one, right? Okay, and let's say if I'm just writing here Django, I hope this one is the correct email, right? So let's check that. Okay, it is correct, and just like this, submit. Contact successfully submitted. So this is working, right? Go to the contact.html, right? I'm not getting, you can see the colors. So just copy this WhatsApp thing, this alert one. Okay, paste that at this point, give the hyphen and change this alert warning from this point. Okay, now go to this point, refresh, and we are getting this one, right? So this is working. Okay, so finally we are done with the contact page. We have just checked out, you can say, the contact us page. Now similarly we are going to, you can say, just check up the sign up page, right? So at this point you can say, what I want is, I want to, you can say, check if the username is already exists or not. Okay, if it exists, it will just going to show an error. If it does not exist, then it is going to, you can say, go or run smoothly, right? So you need to check, you can say, the username and this email address, these two things. So go to the views.py, go to the sign up part, right, at this point. And here what I'm going to do is, at this point I'm going to check, not at this point, you can say after, you can decide this point. So I'm going to check if pretty much the same thing, just we can say copy that one. If user.objects the .username.exists, so just copy this much of thing, paste at this point. If that exists, then I want to show a message, messages dot danger, right? Danger, just like this, and I'm going to write here request, comma, the message. So the message will be username already taken, just like this. Okay, and just make this US capital. See this. Now in this case it is username 1, right? So right here username 1. Okay, now okay, username 1, just like this. Save this. Now just copy this line. Okay, I'll just duplicate it one more time, and at this point what I'm going to write here is, this will be email. Okay, and this will be email 1. Okay, save this. Now right here email already taken. Okay, so if these things are done, so you can just okay, and after this I'm also going to check elif, just copy this line, paste that right here, and copy this line, this much of thing, paste that at this point. This means If the username exists and if the email exists, then I want to show a message. Just copy this message, paste at this point, and the message will be email, and let's say username and email already taken, or right here are already taken, right? So I just make this as U capital, save this, and right here else, right? This means if anything, that you can say else. This means if it does not exist, then it will just do these things, right? It will just create the user. So just go into the signup.html. So we first go to the content.html, just copy the sim code for just this much of thing and paste that, you can say, in the signup.html at the top. So where is it? At this point, just paste that, save this. Now just refresh this, right, this page. Let's say I'm writing here, let's say just like this, just like this. Username, let's say Jane Doe again. Email address will be test2. Password will be 123. Sign in. So module general method only has no attribute danger. Obviously it does not have a attribute of danger, so you can just make that as warning, right? So that doesn't make any type of sense, right? That is pretty much simple way of just getting out of that error. So right here, warning, save that, right, and refresh. We'll just go back, refresh it. Let's try again. Let's say Jane Doe, right? Email address will be this one. This will be 123. Sign in. Username already taken. Email, okay, the email already taken. So one thing we can do at this point. So go to the views.py. Make this as elif at this point, and this as elif, and this as if, and just take this okay, these two things to the top. So if you want to know about the concepts of, you can say, the if else statement, so I have explained this in my Python tutorial, that is Python in one video for beginners, right? So I will just put the link in the description box. You can just go and check out that, right? So okay, just refresh the page again, and we are getting it only once. Username and email are already taken, right? So let's say I'm just writing here like this, and writing here, let's say Jane Doe, and writing here, let's say something, okay, not like here, say test1 at the rate gmail.com, and let's say this will be 1234. This is 1234, and just right here click on this sign in, and you can see this one, username already taken. So this is pretty much working, right? So the email address is also working, right? It is on the same concept. Now we are done, we can say, with this part. Now at this point I want to also, you can say, add one more message, that is message of success. So I'll put here, that is success, just like this, and I will just change this one and write here that is SIGNUP signed up, or you can say sign up successfully, right? So, or you can say right here user created, just like this, right? And just you can say give the smiley symbol, just like this. So just make this user as U capital, save this. Now let's try to create a new user. Let's say something like this, and let's say I'm writing here, let's say JH1. Email address will be test1@gmail.com. Password will be 123. Sign in, and you can see this user created, right? So this is working. Now I want to check, you can say, the same thing in the login page, if the user exists or not, right? So just pause the video, try it yourself, right? And I hope so you have done it right. So let's go back to the VS Code. Where is the sign up? Okay, here is the login page, right? Login. Okay, the login function. And if user is not none, I want to check these things, but I want to check this first, right? So before passing, you can say this to this one. Before authenticating, I want to check. So if copy the same code, just copy this much of thing. Where is that? Paste this point. If right here username, okay, and just right here username underscore 1. So if this exists, right, and that's much, right? If that exists, you can say I want to authenticate the user, right? But if it does not exist, right, in that case what we are going to do? So right here else, copy the message. Where is the message? Just copy this line, paste that, just like this, right? And just right here sign sign up first. Okay, save this and just go to, you can see the your website, click on this again, just refresh it, and let's say I'm just writing here just like this, password 123 log. So it's asking local variable user record, right? Let's see. Here is the username. Okay, just open your terminal, press Ctrl C, run the server again. Refresh, and let's say I'm writing here just like this, 123 login, right? So we are not logged in, right? So let's just, you can say, get the messages, right? So go to the signup.html, just copy, you can say, the messages, go to the login.html, and I can say at this point just paste that, save this. Now just refresh the page. Sign up first, sign up first, sign up first is just repeating 3 times. So let's see what is going to be wrong. Okay, just we can say go to this point, refresh, and we have, you can say, this point 3 what is this, 3 users, right? We have 3 users at this point, so that's why we are getting, you can say, this 3 times. So I want to get the only once, right? So go to the views.py. Okay, one thing, we have done something wrong. So actually we are just checking if the user is not none. This means it is similar to, you can say, to this one, right? So just, you can say, press Ctrl X, remove this multiplying, okay, and paste that at this point. So just like this, just like this, save this. Now this will work, right? Now what we are going to check is if user is not none. If user is not none, this means if user exists, then you can say I want, you can say, to log in, and else I want, you can say, show this message. So go to this point, refresh, hit enter. Okay, we are getting it again 3. So just click on this again. Let's try it again, just like this, 1 2 3 login, and we are getting it only once, right? So we just have to refresh the page, right? So it is working. But let's say I'm just getting logged in, right? So let's say I'm writing here what is that, let's say JH1, right? So writing here, let's say JH1, and this will be 1 2 3 login, and I have been successfully logged in, right? Because I am just redirected to my home page. But here I am going to see this, you can say, these 2 things. So I want to add, you can say, I want to show the username at this point, and I want to show the logout button, right? So let's see how can we do that. So first go back to the VS Code, right? And let's first create the function of the logout, right? Which is pretty much very simple, right? So right here, def logout, it will accept the request, right? And you can say I'm just going to log out, right? So I'm going to check if the if not, like just right here, if the request dot method is equals to post, okay. And at this point you can say, if it is, you can say method is equals to method is equals to post, then I want, you can say logout. So right here, auth dot logout, right? Auth dot logout, right here, request. This means I want to, you can say logout from the request. And right here, return, okay, return redirect to the home page. Save this, right? So this is pretty much simple. Now let's create the URLs. So just replicate this, change this, this, and this to log out, just like this. Now go to the base.html, right? And where is that? It is at this point. So at this point I'm going to check before this one and after this one. So at this point I want to check if so I'm just going to check right here, if user dot is underscore authenticated, right? If the user is authenticated, then you can say I want to show the name at this point. So just I'm writing here h2 tag, or let's say h3 tag, right? And I want to show the user name, right? So here I want to show actually the user name. So for that I want to write here, let's say hi, give the comma, just give this, right, give the double parenthesis, not parenthesis, double curly braces, and write here request, okay, request dot user. So you can say I want to show the user at this point, and then I want, you can say, show the logout button. So just copy this button, paste it at this point, and this button is actually going to be a form. So right here, form action will be slash log out slash, right? And just hit this like this, and just put this just like this, hit tab, okay. Now just remove, you can say, this anchor tag and this anchor tag, just like this, right? And just right here log out, save this. Now and after, you can say just put this end if after at this point, and after this form I want to show right here else, ELSE, save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and we are getting, you can say, the name at this point. So I want to just give it a color, right? Where is the name? So just give it a class equals to, I want to show a color to this, and give the color right here, this style, obviously I want to give the style, so it will be style right here. So style will be color of hashtag #F, just like this. Save this, go to the browser, refresh it, and you can see this thing. So I want, you can say, some padding of, let's say 10 pixels from left and right, and from top and bottom I want 0, right? And just make this h3 as h4, right? and this one also h4. Save this to the browser, refresh it, and we're getting this. So let's say if I try to, you can say, click on this logout. So it is telling home.views logout did not work, http response is returned none instead. And where is that? If user, okay, where's the form? The form is at this point. So just give the method at this point. The method is by default get. So actually we are checking that if the method is actually you can say post, right? So for that you are going to find this question mark at this point. So right here, method equals to post, right? Save this, go to the browser, go back, refresh, click on this logout option, and okay, it is method me, okay, method method. Save this, refresh, go back, refresh the page, click on this logout again, and CSRF token, obviously. So you can say this one CSRF verification failed. So this is pretty much simple, right? So we can say after this we have to write here CSRF token. Space this, refresh, okay, go back, refresh the page, click on this logout again, and now you can say we have finally logged out. So this means our website has been completed, right? So we are done with everything. We have handled, you can say, the search page, you can say this cards which we are showing, you can say the latest cards which we are showing on, you can say our home page. We have just dealt with the post page, we are done with the contact page, sign up page, login page, and we have also, you can say, what is that, we have also checked the things if everything is going okay, correct or not, right? Now let's try to, we can say, add one more post at this point. So right here, admin, okay, it is admin, and this is 1 2 3 4 login, yeah, login. So right here, just click on this script. So actually I want to just copy, you can say, the image URL. So just go back, add post. Let's say I'm writing here, the title will be, let's say, C, or not, let's say C, let's say new language, just like this. A description just like this, or not like this, like this. Copy this, paste that just like this, and paste. Okay, we have to paste the image URL at this point. So I'm just going to open, you can say, the admin again, click on the posts, click on any of this one, copy the image URL, go this point, paste that, close this one, right? Now slug will be, let's say, 1, or let's say p dash 1 2 3, something like that. Save this one. So please, okay, so let's see, paste this, save this one, save. Now go to the website, refresh it, and you can see this, it has been updated. So we're getting the new language at this point. So this will be updated whenever you will be adding, you can say, some new post, right? So it will be showing you the latest 3 posts at this point, right? And if you click on this post, we are going to get, you can say, the new language at this point. So this is pretty much amazing, and you can see here high admin is showing because we have been logged into the as an admin, you can see, in our database. So if I will just log out at this point, from this point, and now if I refresh this, so I will be logged out from this point of event, right? So finally we are done with our website. So you can say the tutorial has been completed. Now if you have any doubts, just comment me in the comment section, and if you like this video, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. So see you guys, till then, take care.